Twisting off the wrapper just to see what's underneath. Oh, dirty little Cupid, she made me do cute shit. Baby having fun with me, but I don't mind.
Punch me in the boob!
Yo, 19 months. Pop.
You're my candy baby, you're my trick or treat. You're my chocolate with a little something in between. You're my candy baby, crave you all the time. 100 flavors, you're the only one I wanna try. You're my candy baby, you're my trick or treat. You're my chocolate with a little something in between. You're my candy baby, crave you all the time. 100 flavors, you're the only one I wanna try.
This ain't what it seems, girl. You're my little teen girl. Knocking at your door, I want the candy Halloween, girl. It was nice to eat you. I mean, it's nice to meet you. I might twist my words, say too much and get a sweet tooth. Wait, mama said you gotta watch your hell now. Hey, things are getting heated, watch your milk now. Wait, baby, tell me what you need right now.
You're my candy baby, you're my trick or treat. You're my chocolate with a little something in between. You're my candy baby, crave you all the time. 100 flavors, you're the only one I wanna try. You're my candy baby, you're my trick or treat. You're my chocolate with a little something in between. You're my candy baby, crave you all the time. 100 flavors, you're the only one I wanna try. Making waves with you. No, no, no. Wanna taste of you. You're my candy baby, you're my trick or treat. You're my chocolate with a little something in between. You're my candy baby, crave you all the time. 100 flavors, you're the only one I wanna try. You're my candy baby, you're my trick or treat. You're my chocolate with a little something in between. You're my candy baby, crave you all the time. 100 flavors, you're the only one I wanna try.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Welcome to a Thursday night stream. I think it's Thursday, right? Time is real. Thursday, yes. I like halfway through that, I was like, wait, is it actually Wednesday or Friday? Because it might as well be. I don't know. Corey, thank you for the 19-month resub. Not only a fantastic mod, but someone who's supported the channel for like a really long time. Thank you so much for that. That's so nice of you. If you guys don't know, Corey also streams, so please check out Corey's streams. Just go ahead and
Punch me in the boob!
give me 1 second.
21 months.
No, we keep that person banned. We keep that person banned. But thank you very much for being here, Corey. Thank you so much. And anyone who hasn't checked out Corey's streams or anything, please go do so. I saw, yeah, but then the ban got removed. I was like, no, we don't want to open those floodgates. Jacob, thank you for the 31 freaking months. That is such a long time. 31 months indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you for the support. Thank you. Corey, it's all good. It's A-okay. Every single mod on the mod team has made some sort of goofy mistake like that. It's A-okay. As soon as I saw that, though, I was like, oh no! Labor Day has messed up my sense of time even more. Yeah, anytime there's like a long weekend or anything, hello, by the way, I do find that like the whole week gets sort of thrown off a little bit, but sometimes that's a good thing, you know? It shortens your work week or school week or whatever you have to deal with. Hello to everyone joining in, by the way. It's so nice to have everyone here. Welcome. We're going to be doing like a laid-back Power Wash stream again, just because this game is awesome, and I feel like we're super close to the end of it, and I kind of want to like get through the available content, so whenever it comes out of early access and more like maps and stuff are added, we can just tackle that as like a fun thing down the line. But like if we finish everything now, then we're not forever trapped in the power washing hell that I put us in. So we'll see what happens tonight. I really do hope that we are about to finish it, though, because obviously I've added a couple other games to the rotation, and I'd like to get through a bunch of those as well. Amanda, hello, hi, welcome to the stream. Juno, hello, hi. Power Wash Supremacy, yeah, indeed. I'm so excited to play more because this is the perfect game to just vibe to as a community. We just sort of hang out and have fun, and there's not really any sort of like meaningful like storyline or crazy like mechanics anyone has to follow. We just get to like watch a bunch of digital water take away a bunch of digital dirt. Am I early-ish? I've only been streaming for 6 minutes, so yeah. Very, very early. Joey Jam, hello, hi, welcome to the stream. Hi to everyone. So nice to see so many familiar names here. My net's still doing like a weird thing where it's been like hiccuping like on and off all day. I'm not sure what's going on with my ISP, but hopefully it doesn't like drop too much.
Was Brian's hair this long a year ago? Looks
It
good.
wasn't, because I literally have not gotten a haircut in over a year. Whiplash, thank you for the 13 months, though. Thank you very, very much for that. That's super cool of you. Storm, nice to see you. Interactive, good to see you as well. Good news, fun fact of the day, you have survived 69% of the year today. Nice. I did see that on the year progress Twitter earlier. But 13 freaking months, Whiplash, thank you so much for sticking around that long. Thanks to anyone who's been here for really just any amount of time. Lurkin, yo, what's up, Jinx? Wait, in all caps, uh-oh. But, wait, what was I just saying a second ago before I got distracted? Oh, yeah. Wait, no. Power Wash Sim, we're going to get through that. Got other games going. What the hell was I talking about, chat? I don't remember. I do not have a brain at all. I was super productive today, so I don't know if, like, the momentum is going to continue in, like, this really good, energetic way, or if, because I'm, like, you know, burnout, like, if I hit a wall at some point during this stream where it's like, whoa, burnout all of a sudden because I did so freaking much today, then I hope that doesn't become the outcome. I hope that I don't just, like, oh yeah, internet being poopy. Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. Last stream, the stream dropped like 8,000 frames yesterday when Morgan was on and her and I were doing cards. But after it did that, it stabilized again. So I'm hoping that whatever little blips are happening right now will just go away for good for the rest of the stream, and we can just stabilize and hang out and not have to worry about my like face freezing like something dumb. 52 days until Halloween. Holy shit, that is crazy. Time to make Lav watch K-pop. Good luck. I hope that Lav enjoys whatever it is that you're going to be showing to Lav. There's so much. There's so much out there. Lard Martini, yo, what's up? Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hi. Lav can't say no to me because she made me get into Tommy Innit and Tubbo. I guess that's a pretty fair trade. Those are like two communities, like K-pop and like Minecraft streamers are like very intense fandoms. So a lot of material. Yo!
Being a part of this community. It's one of the only places.
Yeah, whoever Anon is, thank you so much for gifting Stoned 6 freaking months. It's so many. Thank you so much, Stoned, for being here that long. 28 months total. That is such a long time. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm not going to pay attention. Well, the good thing about that, Lav, is most of K-pop is just fluff. It's definitely like a style over substance thing a lot of the time because that's the way Koreans design the industry. So you can kind of turn off your brain and just enjoy some like good freaking catchy bops.
You, 7 months is a lie.
Yo, 7 months. McCory, hello by the way.
And of course.
Omega, thank you for the 7 months. Thank you so much for the R spam. Holy shit, kicking off a hype train as well. Thank you very much for that. Super nice again to see a bunch of people here. I know this is like a little bit earlier than I start, but I really enjoyed doing that yesterday, starting like earlier than I'm used to. It was just fun. It was just like, it was good to get in like a bonus stream yesterday, but also like I've been saying it for a while. I want to start a little bit earlier with my streams so that we get like bonus time to hang out. Or if, I end after like 3-4 hours, I still have like some of my night left to like hang out with Morgan and whatever. So that's hopefully the plan moving forward is slightly earlier streams. Lana Sama, thank you very much. 1,000 bits? Thank you so much for that. That's so nice of you. Holy shit. That's so cool of you. Thank you very, very much for all those bits. That was really, really awesome. Teddy, hello. Howdy to you as well. Just appreciate the dancing. You're streaming and I'm not already sleeping wild. Yeah, Ina, like I just said a second ago, I don't know if you came in during like halfway through that rant, but yeah, hopefully we'll be doing more and more streams like semi-earlier. Obviously, Late Night Gang is still who we are, how we identify, etc. But, it's going to be like start a little bit earlier and then go into the Late Night Gang versus starting at 11 p.m. and streaming till 3 in the morning, because I can't do that. I cannot continue to do that. I'm getting old. I will turn to dust and die on camera, and then I will lose my entire channel. Captain Clark, yo, what's up, Clark? Good to see you here. Welcome. But yes, hello, everyone else joining. Welcome. Let's do a little bit of, like, good news here. If you guys got good news, as long as it's something that we can all comfortably enjoy, please feel free to share it here in the chat. Would love to see good news. Again, there's way more of you than there is of me. Even as, like, people trickle in here, I will most likely be missing some of the good news. So if you see good news, make sure that you are lifting each other up, celebrating each other, validating each other's good news, because whenever it's your time to do so, guarantee that other people in chat will do that for you as well. I have good news. I surprisingly got my security deposit back from my last apartment. That's awesome, Ina. That's such a good feeling, because like so many landlords sort of like nickel and dime everything that you do and like try to like take away as much of that as possible. So to hear that you got it back is awesome. Very, very cool. I've only had that happen, I think, like one time in my life. When Morgan and I moved out of our last place, they took like a little bit from us. It wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, but they took a little bit. Oh my god. Frickin' bars. Lizzie Bear should be Lizzie Bars. Thank you for the 100 bits, by the way. Thank you very, very much. A refund from my school is coming through, so I can get a proper Switch pretty soon. Nice! That's awesome. That's some very good news right there. I like that. Made it through my 2 anatomy classes today, and I'm proud of myself. That's my good news. Hey, of course, that is good news right there. I like that. That's awesome. If you're proud of yourself, then please share it. That's awesome. Hey, what's up, Poland Peyton? Nice to see you here. Finji is the publishing team for Night in the Woods, Chicory, and a bunch of other games for context. Oh, I missed... So, I can't get into hyper-specifics, but I'm a guest artist for a Finji published game? Yo, Makori, congrats! That's fucking badass. That is so good. I mean, I love Finji games. Like, they have published some of my favorite games. So that is a fantastic piece of news. Congrats to you. That is incredible. Very well deserved. Your art is phenomenal. We accidentally stole ice cube trays and got charged. Yes, that did happen. Thank you, Morgan, for the reminder.
I needed to resub and pop in to say hi. Hard. Have a great stream.
Well, thank you so much, McManiac, for coming through to resub with your Prime. That's really nice of you. Thank you so much for doing that. Super cool of you. And I hope that you get some really good rest. Thank you for dropping by. We do appreciate those drive-by resubs. I understood my calculus homework for the most part. Nice! I don't know, Bubble Juice. That's one of those things where, like, calculus is advanced math for a reason. It is incredibly complicated, so even if you're grasping, like, a little bit of it, that is wonderful. That is really, really wonderful. It's something that I took all the way into college, and I was like, yo, why am I taking this? I'm never going to use it in the real world. If you're someone who is in a, a career path or course path where you might be using it more, that's awesome. But me personally, I was not going into any sort of major in college where I needed it. So it's like, why am I taking Calc 3 right now? I'm not going to need this ever. So I just like dropped out of that and transferred to a different class instead for my math credit that year. But yeah, calc is not easy to get a grasp on. So the fact you did that at all is excellent news. Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's an exciting opportunity. It's so nice to work with passionate game devs. Yeah, I can imagine, because a lot of the times, like, so many of the people who are, like, working on indie dev projects are, like, it's their life's work. It's their heart and their soul being put into that. And that's not to say that doesn't happen in AAA, but indie devs especially, like, they're, you know, smaller budgets. A lot of the time, the scope of whatever it is that they're doing is a lot smaller and a little bit more intimate or personal, and I really love that about indie dev, and the fact that you get to work with those people is wonderful. Tattoo Day is in 18 hours. Might end up getting 2 because both of the ones I want are small and one color, but I guess we'll know tomorrow. Lizzie, good luck to you. I hope that it goes really well. I am very excited to see some updates on that as well, because I think I had asked you over in Fan House that if you would share progress of that. So if you're comfortable doing so, feel free to drop it in the group chat over there once you get those done, because I always love seeing people's tattoo progress. Finally got my extended test time that was relieving. Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, I'm assuming you mean by extended test time, like, your school is allowing you to have a little bit of extra time to finish tests. I did that, actually, because my ADHD was so bad when I was in, like, middle school, especially. I had a bunch of teachers that allowed me to have extended test time that, like, took a lot of pressure off me, allowed me to get sort of all the ticks out. Like, even while I was taking, like, the test, I would, like, sort of, like, look out the window or look at, like, the, you know, like, play with my pencil or whatever, and I would, like, constantly be distracted. And it wasn't that I didn't know the material, but it was one of those things where, like, because of neurodivergency, I just needed that little bit of extra time to get my, like, brain right. I also get it for ADHD. Yeah, okay, awesome. I'm so glad that schools are still accommodating for that sometimes. Yo, what's up, Perlene? Nice to see you here. My dog has a problem on her paw. She started physiotherapy. The vet said she probably will get better and she won't have to live with that pain. I'm so happy. Juno, I'm so glad that there was, like, a positive sort of solution that sounds like it's something that, like, this vet is very knowledgeable about. So that's really wonderful to hear. Hope that your pup heals up really quick here. What's up, Dichotomy? Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. By the way, guys, I hope that...
Hey, are you the guy
Oh,
who plays
give me
the
one
Saber
second.
and Boyfriend Dungeon? / he, but also, hey, look, that's a long time.
Yo, thank you very much, Wallowy Willowy, for 2 years. Congrats on the Silver Jolteon badge. Thank you for using Prime. I know you guys only get Bezo Bucks once a month, so thank you for using those on me. 2 freaking years. Guys, can we get a little bit of pride spam, hype spam in the chat for 2 years? That is a gigantic milestone. Thank you so much. Good news, because of the transfer, my new student insurance covers over $2,500 for therapy, helps cover 2 new pairs of glasses. My last school left those out of the insurance. Firefly, that is awesome. That is fantastic news. Love hearing stuff like that. Very awesome to hear that you're going to a place that, like, respects, you know, those types of things that are, like, you know, huge helps to people. Thank you so much for all the beautiful colors in chat, by the way. Appreciate all of you for that. What I was trying to say a second ago is my frames are still allegedly dropping here on my side, according to OBS and, like, the program I'm using to, like, monitor stuff. But I don't know if you guys are actually seeing any of it on your side. Hopefully it has been fairly uninterrupted. Maybe tiny hiccups here or there, but please let me know if it gets bad or anything. Hello, all I have a normal schedule now because good news. I got a new job, barista part 2, baby, this time at a job that's understanding my chronic illness. Wallowy Willowy, that's so wonderful. I'm so glad that you found an employer that's willing to work with you and acknowledge that that is something that people deal with. That is fantastic news, seriously. Streamlabs also thought I was dropping frames the other day, but Stream couldn't tell. Interesting. If it matters, yes, I'm noticing light frame drops, but it's 99% smooth. Okay, well, 99% is pretty good. I need to stop saying if it matters, you literally just ask for input. Exactly, yes. See, this is the type of positive change I love seeing in people. Hearing you go, yo, I'm going to call myself out on that. If it matters, of course, what you say matters. I appreciate you a ton. You wouldn't be on my mod team otherwise. You wouldn't be someone who I've known for years at this point and been like, you know, a part of each other's lives in some way. So yes, it always matters. Thank you. And that goes to anyone in chat. Guys, your opinions, your thoughts, your commentaries, they matter. They really do. You each have an impact, especially within this community, and we really appreciate you for being here. Gotta go and make a call. I'll be back. Good luck with the call. I hope that it goes really smoothly. Your input always matters. Yes, exactly. Girbeagly is also therapy. I'm gonna say this real clearly here. I don't like that. That's not calling you out, by the way, Juno. But no, I am not. 100% I am not. I might be part of your self-care routine, but I'm not therapy. Those are two very, very separate things. And maybe you're like, yo, Brian, that's semantics. Shut the hell up. But no, I don't want people to ever come here and go, hey, this is how I handle my mental health when I'm like having like a crazy like meltdown right now or anything. Or like I come here for like major life advice on like really heavy mental health issues. I don't want people to think that, because even though I do have a background in psychology, I was a counselor, a psych counselor for a little while. There's a line there that I try to make really, really clear of like, you can come here, we can lift each other up, we can definitely like be there for each other when someone's having like a hard time, etc. But that's like that's a snowball thing, where if it goes beyond like the self-care aspect of like, I feel kind of crummy today, I want to go watch a stream where like there's a community that I know is going to be really accepting and dope, then like that's one thing. But like using me as a stand-in for therapy, I don't want that language to be like used even like jokingly, because that's like a slippery slope, and we do have a couple like younger viewers who are just starting to like conceptualize and tackle their own mental health. So I don't want them to ever like be like, oh yeah, like I don't need to go to therapy, or I don't need to like do like this work on myself because I can just go to a stream. Long-winded explanation, but one that I do like to touch on from time to time, just because I'm someone who's like very, very specific about language. Like we all have slip-ups, we all say things that we don't quite mean, but there is a lot of power in the words that we say, and I want people to know that like if you are really truly like in a bad place, coming in here and being like, hey, trauma vomit, I need help. This is not the place to do that, mainly due to the fact that, like, I don't feel comfortable giving psychological advice to people, like therapeutic advice, the way that I used to when I was employed in that field. And we don't really actually know each other, like, on a personal level. Like, yes, we know each other through the internet. Yes, we interact on a regular basis, and we get to know each other, like, certain aspects about each other, but also, you don't, like, know my day-to-day life, really. Like, those types of things. So, that's the type of, like, not trying to, again, not calling you out or anything like that, Juno, not calling anyone else out in chat like that, but it's something I try to make really clear, because as someone who worked in mental health for a while, I know how important language is, how much it can sort of set off certain thought processes and things like that. So that's it. Sorry for the rant. Just something I'm very clearly passionate about. Let me catch up on chat a little bit. Therapy versus self-care is actually a really important difference, and I think it's fine that you want to clarify that, to be honest. Okay, good. I'm glad that I wasn't, like, insane. Yeah, of course, took your stuff about cutting bad self-image stuff from a while ago to heart, and I'm trying to prove on it. I think that you're improving on it in a great way. Just as someone who's known you for like a few years now, Makori, I think that your journey, the pace you're taking it at, where it's like comfortable for you, is wonderful to see. I am really, really proud of you, honestly. Like, I don't just say that as like just to say it, just to make you feel better. Like, I truly mean that. Like, I am really proud of you for taking those steps. That is fantastic to see. Language is very important, yeah. Brian is therapeutic, but not therapy. I like that distinction because therapeutic doesn't necessarily have to do with therapy itself. Sorry, I won't do that anymore. No harm. Oh no, I know. That's why I was not oh, how dare you say that? Oh my, mods banned Juno for 8 years. No, that's not what I meant by that rant. That was just a quick aside because I have been noticing, especially like over on Twitter and other social media, this like really big upswing in the number of especially like young kids who are like 15, 16 years old, who are like, oh, you're my comfort streamer when I am, dealing with like mental health issues, like where I'm, and then they'll like talk about like triggering stuff, like I watch your streams. And I'll be like I normally don't engage with those because like I just don't feel comfortable engaging with that kind of stuff online. Because again, things can get, misinterpreted via text and especially online. But it's one of those things where I'm just like, hey, I'm very sad for this person that doesn't have like, or at least in their mind, doesn't have like a better place as like an outlet for those emotions and for those thought processes, and doesn't have like something else that like can help them out. Like, I'm flattered. I'm so glad when I can make people feel better about themselves or more positively about their predicaments, or just be a little bit of company when they need it. But it does really worry me sometimes when there's sort of that. And obviously I know that the issue doesn't lie with me. It lies with someone else who clearly needs like a lot of help. But I do get like really worried when I see like, especially young people get like overly codependent and like parasocial, and they get to this reliance. It reminds me a lot, like I talked about this on stream, like several years ago, especially like 2017, 2018, those of you who are around for Stan Twitter, especially YouTube Stan Twitter for like, the Mark, Sean, Ethan crew, like I was sort of like in the orbit of that, because obviously I'm friends with those guys. And there would be people who would like, part of the reason again that I had to shut down my Snapchat was I had a ton of people writing to my Snapchat, and they meant well. It wasn't like they were being malicious. It wasn't like they were intentionally overstepping boundaries, but they were sending me things like, and this is big self-harm trigger warning right now, so, plug your ears for a second if you need to. But people would send me messages that were like, I'm going to do something really bad to myself if you don't reply. And I was like, that is not okay. That is just not okay. You are putting me in a very unfair predicament. I'm so sorry you feel that way. I'm so sorry life feels that heavy. I'm so sorry it's gotten to this point. But that is fucked up. That is emotionally manipulative. And you truly, truly, truly should seek out some form of help that is more immediate in your life than a notice by a content creator. And I was getting those semi-frequently. I was not getting those. That wasn't like a one-off thing. That was happening from multiple accounts for like weeks on end. And I just was like, yo, I can't give this avenue to these people anymore. So I shut down Snapchat DMs, and that is why we don't have Snapchat DMs right now. It was just very, very just unhealthy. It was very just sort of like not a standard that I wanted to become the norm in this community, because before you know it, those people are bringing that type of energy into public spaces like Twitch chat, and it's triggering other people, and it's doing like a whole bunch of other really terrible things. So we step back from that. That means a lot. Thank you. Same goes to you when it comes to improving your overall mental health. Thank you, McCory. That's really nice of you. Yeah, I mean, my therapy journey has been nothing but positive so far. It's been a lot of deep digging. It's been a lot of facing myself in ways that I'm very uncomfortable with, and definitely has had a very intense emotional impact. But a lot of the times it's really cathartic, and it's been really good. So it'll be wonderful growing alongside you, honestly. wanting the shit that would be scary. Yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, I noticed I'm old enough. I've, again, had a traditional, education in, like, psychology and things like that. I was able to notice the warning signs and take a step back. But, yeah, especially in that era, there were a lot of, like, YouTubers I even knew who would, like, write back because they thought they were helping when they were really enabling, like, long-term, like, emotionally manipulative and just really scary behavior. I wasn't on Twitter for that, but I was on YouTube and only caught the edges from it. It was the big, it was not fun to be a part of, for sure. But yeah, at the end of the day, frames are going into the shadow realm, apparently. What happened, dude? The internet was like, all right, get back to, like, the good stuff. Talk about better stuff than this. But basically, at the end of the day, that left a profound impact on me where the importance of, like, language and the importance of, like, very fucking clearly setting boundaries. I really do think that needs to happen. That is, like, one of those things that, like, I'm so in the camp of setting strong and apparent boundaries, especially because I know that I have young viewers. Therapy is underrated, but yeah, no, it's important no matter how small you think your issue may be, but it's beneficial not only for yourself, but for the people around you. Right, and therapy doesn't have to take the form of you spending hundreds of dollars to go to an actual therapist. If you find, like, a routine that works for you, that is therapeutic in some way, that is the first beginning steps for self-care. I know that therapy is, like, a big financial privilege, but I do definitely implore people, like, if you are ever in that financial sort of range where you're able to do that, like, maybe to explore it, even if you do something like BetterHelp, which, like, gives you, like, a free trial or whatever, like, give that a try if you need to. But yeah, I think it's really important to, like, talk about these things and set a better standard and try to make sure that, like, people understand healthy boundaries and whatnot. And again, like, that we're very mindful of, like, our language and where it can lead for people who might be on a slipperier slope than us. Definitely accidentally enabled some people as a teenager and thought I was helping, but didn't know any better. Glad I know now. Better late than never. Perlene, I really like the way that you wrote that because you're not, like, beating yourself up about that. That is something where you were young. You were a teenager. You, like you said, you didn't know any better. You thought you were doing something good. And you know better now. You've since learned. You've educated yourself. I think that's a really wonderful thing. That's a great mindset. Your FBI agent is getting disturbed and trying to stop you, apparently. We love setting boundaries. We do, Lulu. I use BetterHelp, and they offer financial aid for those who may not know. I had no idea that they do that, but that's wonderful. Sarah, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. If you are new here, please read the rules. My name is Brian. I'm a variety streamer. I play everything from Power Wash Sim to adventure action games, whatever. We do Pokemon card openings, just chatting, but welcome. We were just having a pretty healthy discussion about setting boundaries and making sure that, you are doing your best to engage in healthy behaviors with each other, as well as, setting that example for people who might be younger, more impressionable, because that's a big thing on the internet is making sure that people know, like, what's acceptable and what's not. And that's obviously going to vary from person to person based on your own comfort level, but again, doing my best here to make it very, very, very clear what my personal boundaries are. We do stand some boundaries. Yes, we do. We do be standing those boundaries. All right. Speaking of boundaries, let's go mess around on some digital property with some invisible wall boundaries. Let's do a little bit of power wash. Should be fun. Baby Spell, hey, what's up? Welcome. If you use the code DISTRACTABLE, you can get... Everyone has their own boundaries. It's very important to never overstep them. Actually, I think that would be kind of dope if we got, like, a code, like an affiliate code. I normally don't do affiliate codes, but, like, maybe, like, a BetterHelp affiliate code would be, like, really dope to get for the channel. Let's wash some fucking walls. Let's go. Hopefully the net starts behaving here in a second. It hasn't been, like, bad from what you guys said, so I'm not going to sweat it too much here tonight. Definitely working on enforcing and putting up boundaries of my own. It's a really important thing to do. The earlier you establish it, like, it might be uncomfortable a little bit if you're part of, like, a smaller community or a newer content creation community or whatever. Because you have less people there. So everyone sort of knows each other a little bit more intimately. Everyone's involved with each other like every day or whatever. So sometimes that can be an uncomfortable conversation, but I think it's a necessary one to have. And the earlier you set those boundaries, the earlier you make it known to people in your community, like this is how we should be acting towards each other. I think that's better in the long run for everyone involved in those situations. Power wash those negative relationships away if they disrespect your boundaries. Well, all this dirt is disrespecting me. Oh my God, we got to 82% last time. I forgot. So we are very close to being able to beat this level, which is exciting. When I was in treatment this summer, one of the big things I learned was I can't be everyone's ear. Can't take everyone else's problems on my shoulders when I have my own to deal with as well. I had to set some boundaries within myself to stop me from giving too much of myself. I think that's a classic lesson that a lot of us have had to learn over the years. Dichotomy, you're definitely not alone in that one. I know I had to do that for a while too. I was given way too much of myself. I was trying to help out too many people, and I was burning out, and I was hitting rock bottom a lot of the times emotionally. And when you have nothing left to give, as they say, when there's no gas left in the tank, you can help nobody, including yourself in those situations. So I'm glad to hear that you started prioritizing you're putting your safety mask on first before you help out other people. I think there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm watching from my bed, ready to power wash myself to dreamland. Baby spell, I hope that it's very relaxing and fun for you. Bit late because I was watching Lord of the Rings in the shower. Yo, Max, that sounds like the best shower of all time. That's awesome. That's very fun. BRB getting dinner because food good. Food is good. Food good, for sure. Oh, yeah, I forgot there's this horrible carnival music. All right. All right, can we stop this? This is the worst. We will have to start that up again, I just remembered, because we're going to have to clean this entire hole that every horse is on. I forgot that we had to do that. But we're in! We're washing! Let's go! Excited. I wrote my college essay about that through a baking metaphor. That sounds so interesting, actually. It sounds really cool. Good evening. Is that just how that's read? Would just be G apostrophe D apostrophe. Wouldn't that just be good? Good evening. I'm lurking as I prepare for a costume party. I hope you have fun at the costume party. Hope everyone has a great time, stays safe, enjoys each other's costumes, etc. All right. Again, chat, you'll have to let me know if frames become unruly, because it is saying I'm dropping like a fuck ton of them on my side, but it doesn't seem like anyone's been disturbed. Finally finished my ASL homework, so howdy. I hope y'all have had a great day. Thank you, Riley. I hope that your homework went by really smoothly. Thanks so much for joining us. It's nice to see you here. You seem fine, Brian? Okay, awesome. Very, very happy. I miss costume parties. Yeah, I feel you on that one, Juno. I wish. Like, even, again, like, even among, like, the people I hang out with, like, IRL, there's been a few people who, I guess I should say hang out with, like, pre-pandemic. A couple of them got COVID. And I'm like, you're fucking, why? What were you doing? Why did you do that? Because they were, like, not being very mindful. And they ended up getting COVID because they were being just, like, not super vigilant. And that's a bummer to see. But, okay, gotta hit it again. No! Okay, timing good, I think. But, so needless to say, I don't hang out with those people. But, like, the only person I've really seen over the past year is Dan. And that's because Dan, yes, Dan, who I call Dan because that is his name. And that's because Dan works from home like me and literally goes nowhere. He, like, gets his groceries delivered. He just does not have any sort of, like, contact with people outside his home, which is pretty safe. But I miss, like, actual, like house parties and shit. So, yeah. Yeah, welcome to anyone joining in. Crip, thank you so much for the 26 months. You absolutely exist. Thank you for using your Bezos bucks for the month on me. It's very, very nice of you. Brian beat me to the joke. Wait, which joke? You can take credit for it because I forgot what joke I was even saying. So it's your joke now. Feel free to take that from me, Sarah, because my brain doesn't even remember making a joke in the past, like, 5 minutes, so you're good. That sucks. Yeah, I can tell some people got too used to the idea of pandemic life being normal without considering that you need to isolate carefully for reasons. Yeah, it's one of those things, like, I don't know, like, the social distancing guidelines are right there. It's so easy to follow them. Like, when you're out at the store, do not get within 6 feet of people. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still catch it and spread it, even asymptomatically. The vaccine helps reduce the likelihood you'll catch it and reduces the horrible side effects that you'll have from getting it. So that's all that does. It's not foolproof. It's not 100%. But you should still do it because it's better than having no protection. It's like if you're riding in the front seat of a car and you don't have your seatbelt on versus having your seatbelt on. The seatbelt might not always protect you from dying in a car accident, but it will make it a lot harder for you to.
Knitting and being lightly
There we go.
toasted
That's my
in
rant
bed.
for the night.
Have some vibes.
Thank you very much, Crip, for the 100 bits. That sounds like a really, really pleasant, like, chill night, by the way. That's wonderful. I have a Roaring 20s themed New Year's party in 2019 to 2020, and we all thought 2020 was going to be so great. I mean, we all were making the 2020 is going to be amazing predictions and jokes and shit. There's no way to predict what's going to happen, good or bad. But you might as well keep pushing through to tomorrow to see, tomorrow could be amazing. Could be fucking kick-ass. Could get the opportunity of a lifetime tomorrow, you know? You never know. Is this one's still not done? Like, where's the dirt? Where's the beef? Brian spitting straight facts. Stay safe, everyone. Yeah, just please be safe. I am science. I am science. You are all of science. Can confirm vaccines are a great part of the defense, but not the defense. Yes, exactly. 2020s can still be good on an individual level. You can still do a lot despite bad circumstances. I like that. I like that you differentiated just the year 2020 and 2020s, because yes, I think that's, I laughed because I noticed so many people forgetting, like, we are in a new decade. Like, it is the 2020s. Just because the first year of it is ass, or was ass, does not mean the rest of 2020s can't get, like, amazing for people. Like, especially, yeah, like you said, like, individual accomplishments and achievements. Part of the reason we do good news is I don't want people to go, oh man, everything sucks. This good news I have doesn't matter. I don't want anyone to feel that way. Your good news absolutely fucking matters. That's why we like hearing about it. So, yeah. Definitely something that we can all hopefully turn around as a world. We'll see. You return with shrimp Alfredo? That sounds so good. Shermua, what's up? Nice to see you here, by the way. I always forget we're in 2021. It's so weird. I mean, the joke that I keep seeing is that 2021 is just 2020 DLC. Kind of accurate so far, but also I think that little by little, some things are, have the potential at least to, like, get better. We just have to keep riding that momentum and hoping that we can get everyone on the same page and fix what we can fix, So, welcome to all the friends joining in. Yes, welcome to anyone joining in right now. Appreciate you being here. Jasper Poggers, yo, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Dichotomy, thank you for the gifted sub to DW Lulu. Lulu, make sure you're saying thanks to Dichotomy, because that was really nice. Thank you very, very much for that gifted sub. That's so nice of you. Thank you for the support of the streams, both of you. Just by being here, you're supporting the streams, and that's appreciated a lot.
For everyone who can gift some
Crypt, thank you. That's really nice of you. Thank you for that generosity on behalf of, the stream of chat. That's so cool of you. Thank you. Everyone deserves an Eevee. Aw, I like that. I don't know if y'all already did good news. Yeah, but hey, like I always say, it's never too late for good news. You can share it at any point during the streams. I got the artifact I needed in Genshin. Nice! After all the days of grinding. I know it's small, but it made my day. No good news is too small. That is freaking awesome. I'm so happy to hear it because honestly, as someone who's been, again, I've mentioned I'm going to start streaming Genshin again at some point, but I've been eyeing like some of the new content and, you know, I'm trying to like work myself back into being motivated to play a freaking gacha game again. But I love hearing about that because I know how hard it is to obtain a lot of stuff in Genshin. So to hear someone got good luck and got like the thing that they really wanted in that game specifically is good news. That is awesome. It's great to hear. I started to study into the complexities of language and how people communicate with one another to help add complexities to my characters who speak different languages. It's been really fascinating so far. I'm loving it a lot. Corey, that sounds actually incredibly fascinating. That's so cool. I love that. It's always time for good news. Exactly, Juno. Exactly. Tizzy Lizzy, hello, hi, welcome. Good news, I was gifted a sub to Girbeagly. Aw, you certainly were. I hope that you enjoy it. Seriously. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to me just talk about whatever endlessly. Watch me endlessly wash things in this game of games. I do love this game a lot, though. I can't wait for more content to be put into it. Because it has definitely become like a regular fun thing to do for me. It's such a low pressure game. There's no timer. There's no like limited resources. There's no enemies to fight except like if you count the dirt as like the enemy. It's just like chill, dude. It's really chill, and I hope that everyone gets sort of the same chill out of it as I do. And just satisfying. Like, that is so satisfying. Oh, let's slow it down for a second to really see that dirt come off the ceiling here. Oh, man. That's nice. That's really nice. My good news is that I basically survived my first week of degree number 2. 6 courses this semester will probably kill me in October, but it's fine. Smiles with dead eyes. Good luck to you, Sarah. Again, you're taking on a humongous task and you're doing amazingly. We're really proud of you. Touched on some things in cinema class, impact of aspect ratios, splitting the screen into quadrants, different shots from wide to extreme close-ups. Pretty interested in the class. I love that kind of stuff because cinematography really is art, and it's an often underrated part of like movies. Like, you know, when a movie comes out, people are like, fucking love this movie. Love the acting. The acting was so good. Man, the action was so awesome. Those fight scenes, that car chase, those are awesome. The chemistry between actors was really great. Like the script and the narrative, the story was so good. And it's very much like back burner that people talk about like, yo, they did a one take of like a 10-minute scene where there were no breaks or changes in camera angle. Or they did this really cool, like, you know, slow zoom in during this part that really added to the tension of the scene. Like, I love seeing stuff like that. That is normally when Morgan and I watch a movie. That's like one of the first things I touch on. You can ask her. I just sit there and I ramble about how like beautiful the cinematography in a movie is. Even if we didn't end up liking the movie, I will point it out to the point where she'll be like, yeah, but I hated the movie. The movie sucked. Why do you care? So it is something that like I love hearing when people like get interested in it. Currently doing some chemistry homework, but Power Washer Sim has been an oddly great game to help wind down and chill out. I wouldn't even say it's oddly weird to chill out with. Like, this is the extent of the gameplay. This is very chill. This is like a good... There are people who are not wowed by power washing, and then there are people who, like, this scratches a very specific itch, and I am definitely one of the people this game was intended for. This is so nice. This is, like, it's methodical, but I have full freedom to, like, oh, I'm done watching that for now because I got distracted and I want to do this part instead. It's got that satisfying ding there. There's everything about this was built for, like, just chilling out. Like, I really, really like this game. I wasn't active here when the game dropped, so I'm doing promos because fuck it. It's a good game. Wait, which game? I'm so sorry if I missed it in the chat. Do I have to scroll up? Or are you talking about Power Wash Sim specifically? I have to lurk because my phone is dying and won't charge while it's unlocked. Oh, that's weird. I'm so sorry it's doing that. Love yous, but I'll be back in chat later on in stream. Stoned, it will be nice to see you again whenever you wander back here. Good luck charging your phone. Thank you for being here at all. That'd be an amazing ad for Power Wash. Those very intense action type trailers, like a scene from the game. Boom, dirt is the enemy. Boom, exterminate. I wish they leaned into that. I honestly think the dev is the type that would do a trailer like that. I wonder when the full release comes out if they'll do that. In which case, I hope they do open casting call because for like the narrator of that, because I've always wanted to do that, like in a world type of like trailer. That would be so fun for this game. Boyfriend Dungeon. Okay, that game. All right, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. My own game. Promoing Boyfriend Dungeon, even though I'm sure everyone here knows about it. Yeah, we did a full playthrough of it. Just dating me pretty much. Once we unlocked me, we only dated me. And the reason for that is due to the fact that I want you guys to not be, not have spoilers for the other pads and have plenty of content to jump into with the other dates if you ever do decide to pick up the game. But you can pick up the game on Steam. You can pick it up on Xbox Game Pass. You can pick it up on Nintendo Switch. That's so weird to say still. And on the Epic Games Store. I'm literally in a video game that's on Nintendo Switch, Xbox, Steam, and the Epic Games Store. God, that's always going to seem way too surreal for me. I just spit all over my keyboard. Amazing. Now I need Brian to do voiceover stuff. I mean, I would love to do voiceover stuff for anything. I actually just had another voice audition fall into my lap the other day, so very excited for that. I don't know why I keep getting these opportunities, but I'm very excited for them. Valeria, my beloved. Yeah, Valeria is a fantastic character. We did do a lot of dating of her. I don't know why, but the phrase, we did a full playthrough, mostly dating me, just killed me. It's a weird one to hear, right? Once I figure out how to set up streaming, I may do a playthrough on my own. I'm really excited to play it. I hope you have fun when you do. I miss kissing Seven's fingies. Yeah, I mean, you guys had the option to, like, kiss his fingies more, and you missed out on it. Also, I've been in an associative episode for a bit. When did we finish Boyfriend Dungeon? Like a while ago. I'm sorry to hear that you're dealing with that, though. Max, thank you for the 5 gifted. That's so nice of you. Thank you very, very much for the gifted to Addison Black, Infinidog, Ivan1289, Cassie is Sassy 2002, and Kian S. If any of you are in the chat right now, make sure you're saying thanks to Max. Thank you so much for that support. Max, that was unbelievably generous of you. Thank you so, so much, Max. All of you are really sweet. All of you are really, really kind. Thank you so much for that. Obsessed with Valeria, but Sunder broke my freaking heart. No spoilers in chat, please, for people who haven't played it, but Sunder is a bit of a bad boy, and there are going to be moments full of strife in his storyline. That's all I'll say. Also, I'm a clown, and when looking at the cast list, my brain short-circuited and was like, wait, where's Brian Girbeagly? It was Brian Long. To be fair, I don't, I mean, that's my full name, and most people know it because I'm pretty public about it, but it's not like I go by it regularly. I made the choice to go by Brian Long for this game specifically because this was my first major role, and I wanted to just, that's my given name. That's my real name. So, when game companies and stuff look me up, they'll never, ever, ever have to be exposed to this chat. No, because, that's sort of like the professional thing to do. I am credited in the game My Beautiful Paper Smile as Brian Girbeagly Long in that one. And then, because the whole thing, guys, is the pipeline is doing commercial voiceover work too and stuff. And I would like to be yeah, I did this thing, and have people go well, we don't see your name on the list there. And it's no, I'm sorry, I'm credited as Girbeagly in this. So that's the pipeline, is at some point, getting even more and more and more professional work. Like a stretched version of the profile. Brian Longer Beakley, a stretched version of the profile picture. Brian Long, I only know Brian Girbeagly is short. Wow. Girbeagly. Yeah. Yeah. So that's one of those things where that was like a sort of future-proofing professional decision for this game because it was my major debut. I can't remember. I'm also in the game One Dreamer. I literally play a character named Hero69. I wish I could take credit for naming that character, but I'm a bit part who's like this dork who is in the game world in One Dreamer, and I get to like be like, hi, what's up, like type of character. I can't remember how they credited me in that game. It might have been, there's like a 50-50 chance it's just my username and or my my actual name. Also kind of strange having an IMDb page with just a username. Yeah, that too. For sure. This is that meme. Brian looking at the casting team. Us in the background. Brian saying, it's right behind. It's right behind me, isn't it? Brian Long Beagle? That's my full birth name. Please never call me that. Please don't call me that. I prefer my other monikers online. That name has too much personal history and weight to it. I'd prefer if you don't use that one. Banned for sharing personal info. Yeah, but yes, I'm credited as Brian Long in Boyfriend Dungeon, which is fucking crazy, honestly, that I even was cast. So, yeah.
Apologetic biddies who
Thank you very much for the apologetic biddies, Crypt. I appreciate the support. Very kind. You never have to give bits just because I've chastised you in chat, okay? You never have to do that. But please, the name that you used was given to me at birth, and I no longer use that. Brian. I had no problem recognizing Sungwon Cho as Pro ZD, but for some reason at the name Brian Long, I was head empty. I think it's just because, like, I don't use it, you know? I don't use my full name. People just know me as Brian. You know, that's just how it is. So I think it's one of those things where, again, that was more for the benefit of the professional world. Those of you in the community who know, you know. Those of you who know, you know. God damn it, I gotta get rid of that, like, verbal tick. That's like my frickin' hanging, like, end of sentence thing that I overuse. There's no Long, only Brian. Yeah, pretty much. Max, please. Uh-oh, Max, what did you do? You've been oh. Are you bonking Sarah? I mean, I did recently, I didn't realize this happened, but the mature tag on my stream got turned off. I don't know why it wasn't there anymore, because we definitely, like, talk about some weird fucking shit every now and then, and I say phrases like I just said there. So I turned it back on. Again, I don't remember when it got turned off. It was probably when I had to be on front page or did some sponsored work where they didn't want that tag up. But mature tag's back on the stream, so we're a mature stream. So some of you are kind of have been a little bit horny on main, I gotta say. I'm not giving you any sort of weighted commentary on that. I'm just pointing out that it's been noticed. It's been noticed. I've taken note of it. Please, I'm trying my best. Well, I mean, your best is sure something so far. Bonk, go to horny jail. Right. Also, I said it before, but I think it got swept away by the subs. You keep getting voice acting opportunities because you're talented. Well, thank you. That's really nice of you to say. God, I don't know. I'm trying not to get a strike because I'm not allowed to speak bad about myself. But I'm trying to frame this in a realistic way. I am at the point where I know that voice acting is, like, obviously something I want to be an important, continuous part of my online career, and, like, content creation career. But also, hearing, like, really experienced voice actors right there, like, for instance, like, the freaking cast of Hades, dude, is so good. Like, since we started playing that game, and I do not mean this in a way where I'm putting myself down. I'm aware that I deserve the roles that I've gotten. I'm aware that I put hard work into recording them, etc. But the voice acting in Hades is so fucking good that the moment I heard, like, Zagreus talking, I was like, I have a really long way to go. And that's not a bad thing. That just, if anything, that helped me set, like, a goal. Like, it allowed me to be like, shit, I gotta get on games that are, like, of this caliber. I gotta, like, get to a point where, like, I hear this type of voice acting and I go, whoa, damn. Like, this guy's, like, really good. I can take bits and pieces of his performance and apply it to my own in, like, a way that makes my own voice acting more compelling. And, hopefully just, like, continue to improve at the craft, because it is a craft. It is something that you gotta practice and you gotta put time into and everything. I'm actually really nervous for this audition that I just recently got, because it is a pretty big opportunity, and it's got, like, a very major part to play. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm really excited to try it. So, yeah. Zagreus is voiced by a member of Hades' dev team? Holy shit, he has a great voice. Not to be dramatic, but when 7 came on screen, I crammed that volume up and went, it's him. Your voice acting is Girbeagly. I went crazy, went stupid, and I'm excited to replay again. Wallowy Willowy, I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. I've gotten a lot of really nice compliments about the voice acting. I won't lie, I know I'm, like, my worst critic. There were definitely moments, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, my job was to provide multiple takes for multiple lines to the dev team, and then Kit Fox got to pick out which ones they wanted to use for the end production. And I did not have any say in which, like, takes I thought were the best. So there were a couple times while I was playing the game where I heard a certain line voiced with, like, a take that I, like, really recognized as, like, oh, that was, like, one of my weaker takes. And I was like, shit, I wish I could have, I wish they'd used the other recording of that line, because I thought I had, like, better emphasis on, like, this part of it. And again, I know that's mainly just in my own head of I'm my own worst critic, but it was kind of nice to be like, okay, if I ever get a line similar to that, I'm not going to put, like, emphasis on this. I'm going to, like, you know, say this word this way instead. And I think that that was, like, a really cool experience, but also, like, yeah, I do get a little bit nitpicky where, like, for instance, in, like, the dungeon, there's a bunch of those, like, recurring lines where it's like, I can't even remember what the fuck the line is. You'd think I'd remember after doing, like, a million takes. Yo, Crip, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that happens. That's okay.
You're all shining stars in my
Crip,
sky,
thank you
and
for the
that
200
world
bits.
was dull and lacking wonder without you less
Aw,
than two.
that's a sweet message. Thank you so much, Crip, for the 200 bits. That's really generous. Kenna, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you here. Welcome, welcome. But there's, like, the line along the lines of, like, this is a pretty weird hobby, isn't it? Like, type of thing. I can't remember what it is exactly that I say in that part. But it's just, like, a random pop-up line. There were a couple of those types of lines that are just, like, the banter in the dungeon, where it's like, oh, man. Like, I should have, like, emphasized this word, like, a little bit more on that. Like, overall, I was happy with, like, my voice performance, but there were definitely a couple lines where it's like, oh, that felt like one of the weaker takes that I submitted. But then again, it was a sound production engineer who was sitting there for literally hours upon hours upon hours, listening to those lines over and over and being like, oh, I like the way this one fits better. So, you know, I defer to their judgment, but also as the voice actor, I'm like, oh, that performance didn't feel as strong as I wanted it to be. But again, just for the next role, I'll do better. But I am very proud of the work that I did put in. I really am. I feel like doing multiple takes just makes brain go burr sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very fun to do because you get to, like, play around and, like, you're always given director's notes. Like, any project worth its salt is going to give you director's notes. So, like, for instance, I did the I love you line, I told you, and that was the hardest one for me to record because Morgan wasn't home, and it was very hard to, like, talk to a microphone and actually put, like, the emphasis into, like, I love you, like, into that. Like, that's really fucking hard to do. So I got, like, some really good director's notes back from Tanya, the lead at Kit Fox Games. She sent back my first, like, 4 attempts and was like, she was like, these are, like, the tone of your voice is good, but, like, I need, like, a little bit more warmth. I need, like, you to, like you saw the love of your life. You need to say it that way. And should I sat Siggy in front of you? Man, if he had decided to, like, behave, like, I'm sure, like, that would have helped. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But it is one of those things where, like, you do get, like, the notes of, like, make this playful. But there's still, like, a little bit of wiggle room where it's like, oh, I get to say this line, like, in a playful voice, like I'm joking around with an old friend. Where I can be like, hey, that was a great time. Hey, that was a great time. You know, like, that, you can hear the difference in those things. So that is really fun. It does burn you out a little bit because you, like, overthink, and sometimes you, like, do the exact same inflection without meaning to because you're like, I don't have any more voices for this emotion. So you really gotta, like, play around with it. But that's what makes it fun for me. I love that. I love, like, creatively, like, approaching it and trying to figure out what the fuck it is that that the devs want me to do, or whoever wrote the script wants me to do. So I remember months back, I jokingly guessed that you were in a dating sim during stream. A lot of people did. I actually slipped up and said, I mentioned Boyfriend Dungeon because it had so recently been awarded to me as a job. And then on top of it, the other part of it was I wasn't under an NDA, which normally, like, I have to sign, like, an NDA for projects, whether they're, like, sponsored projects or whether they're, you know, jobs or whatever it is. And, like, I take those really seriously where I'm like, okay, this is, like, contractually binding or whatever. In this case, it was, like, a good faith thing where, like, I got cast and they were like, hey, we don't want to make you sign an NDA because those are fucking yucky, but how about, like, you know, to make it a surprise until we announce it publicly, you don't tell anyone about it. And I was like, yeah, sure. But I was, like, so excited because this was, like, my first big role that I totally fucking forgot during, like, a stream last year, I think. Yeah, I think this was last year in 2020. And I was like, yeah, like, I did an audition for, like, Boyfriend Dungeon. And then, like, later in the stream, I was like, I got awarded a job or something. I can't even remember exactly how it went down. But I remember I slipped up and just pretty much completely fucking gave it away. And fortunately, like, the, like, 8 people who remembered were nice and kept it under wraps for the most part. People, like, you know, made it a joke where they were, like, heavily hinting in chat, like, wow, that sounds great. I hope the game doesn't take 7 months to come out. Stuff like that. Which was fine, because, like, again, it was just like, haha, you were there, I slipped up. Whatever, it's not, like, disrespectful. It wasn't like we were giving away, like, a big, like, contractually, like, protected secret. But it was one of the, like, I 100%, that was on me. I fucked up on that one. I was fully ready to fight someone on Seven's behalf at one point. He's a good lad and definitely one of my favorites. I'm so glad. He's a great character because I see a lot of myself in him. His, like, struggles with depression and, like, self-esteem and self-worth and stuff obviously are things that I'm, like, in therapy for right now. So, like, I saw a lot of myself in him in that way. He also, like, loves horror movies, is not, like, a big fan of, like, fan clubs and, like, stan stuff. And that's not to say, like, oh, man, I hate my fans. It's just, like, I definitely see, like, a clear line between between, like, people who are genuinely supporting you as fans and people who are, like, so obsessed with you that they make a bunch of weird assumptions about who you are and every little thing that you say and then, like, project that onto you in, like, a really negative and bad, harmful way. Those are, like, two very different things for me. So, like, he's also not a big fan of, like, stan culture and things like that. Like, I was like, damn, this character was written for me to voice. This is, like, really, really good. So, yeah. Olivia is a good character, but... yeah, Olivia is a really fun character, and she's, like... I will say this. I do wish that the way they handled her was a little bit more than just she's sort of like the fill-in, like, all-purpose character. Like, oh, this storyline needs, like, your friend who's just, like, platonic to, like, be in. Or, like, oh, this is going to become, like, your sort of rival or whatever. Or she's going to be, like, the local crazy. Like, there were, like, a couple moments in the writing where it's like, oh, man, like, Olivia is such a great character, and Marion Toro, who voices her, is a fantastic beam of sunshine. But I thought that the way that they handled the writing of her could be fleshed out a little bit better, and I'm really hoping with, like, the DLC that's something that they do with her, because otherwise she sort of was, like, the Swiss Army knife of characters, like, in the game, where she just sort of felt like a fill-in. Like, she was always around, she always had some sort of purpose, but it was also, like, normally as a secondary or, like, tertiary sort of, like, motivation for you or the weapons that you're dating at the time to, like, get involved in. So, yeah. Fun fact, Jordan D-Tune was playing Boyfriend Dungeon earlier today. That's awesome to hear that he's kept up on the playthrough. One of Seven's lines made him go, "Seven is Brian." Do you remember which line? Olivia, honey, touch some grass. Yeah, there's a couple moments where it's like, Olivia, please take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. It will be okay. I'm so excited for the new 2 Dateables, though. I'm waiting patiently to smooch more. I'm so fucking excited for the DLC characters to come out because they are really, really good. They are very fun. And I really hope that people like them. I really, really hope that people, like, fall in love with them because they are very fun. But that should be semi-soon. I don't have an exact release date on that. My involvement with the dev team is fairly limited besides them, you know, working with me on my voice lines and stuff, so I can't give you guys, like, an exact date. But from what I have been told, it's going to be very, very, very soon. So, if you are itching for more content and you've already burned through, like, the 8 hours or so of content of like, maxing everything currently in Boyfriend Dungeon, that will be available to you very soon. Sadly, I don't. I think it was either a dungeon lounge or during the cafe decision moment. Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Jonah, my beloved, I will go on 100 surf dates with you. Jonah is, like, legitimately the perfect himbo. He is a fantastic character. He's really, really good. I just mods to be able... Wait, what? I just want mods to be able to happen so I can bonk Eric with a knife, is what I'm assuming. Mods... I don't know if they've already done the open source modding or not, but there is plans to do modding or allow the community, the Steam community, to mod so that you can, like, add whoever you want into the game. You can, like, swap out the character models. So, like, if you want, and, like, some of the dialogue and shit. So you can, like, be like, oh, I've always wanted to date, like, fucking this character from this show. But that is planned if it hasn't already been implemented over in Steam. That is something that the dev team wanted to allow the modding community to play around with, which is, like, really fun. I was so sad when we didn't see much of Jonah. Yeah, I mean, so the devs were pretty on the nose. Like, Fox Game were pretty on the nose with, like, the hints that they dropped of, hey, Jonah isn't available right now. Even says like, hey, sorry, I gotta leave for the summer, but maybe next season I'll see you. By the way, guys, quick reminder, it is fall, the season after summer. But, like, that was, like, pretty clear, but apparently, like, you're not the only person who's like, oh, man, I wish we got to, like, see more of Jonah out there, obviously. But a lot of the people who are, like, mentioning that didn't get that hint drop that, like, yeah, Jonah will be available. He's going to be DLC next season after summer. So he's going to be available really soon. He's going to be available very, very soon. And he is, again, a fantastic, fun character, and I hope that people love him because he's just trying to do his best. He's just trying to do his best, dude. He's a nice boy. He's a nice guy. He's a very quiet guy. But yeah. I personally would love to date Pocket's owner. I'm so curious about them. They're an adult, obviously, which I'm assuming they are. As far as I know, every character in the game is an adult, including like side characters that you interact with. Like they're adults, they're consenting adults. They are there to make your wildest dreams come true. Really. I caught on to him being DLC later. Just took me an extra second. Yeah, I mean, no, I wasn't saying you didn't understand that. I'm just saying, like, a majority of the Jonah enjoyers out there were not aware that, like, that text he sends you is literally him being like, I will be around next season, IRL. So there were a lot of people kind of confused by that. So I kind of wish that they had been even more clear about that. Even though, to me, I know that, and granted, I have, like, insider info, because I got to work on the game, but, like, I do wish that, like, they had been, like, maybe at the end of the game, like, more DLC coming soon with, like, Jonah and Leah, you know? Why not? Hello, hi, welcome to the stream. I'm still super excited about being able to do an ace run for the game. Yes, it's so cool that you're able to do that. It does suck a little bit that you still have to, like, engage with some of the characters, like, romantic come-ons, but all of the dateable characters, obviously minus Stinky Eric, are really respectful about boundaries, and even though, like, they might come on to you again later in the game, it's just because you're so damn irresistible. But that doesn't mean you have to oblige them. You are able to still be like, nope, we're just pals, we're friends, let's go hang out at the park. And they'll go, okay, yeah, sure, cool, that's fine, I respect that, let's just go be pals at the park. I'm still gonna level up my abilities for you. So, yeah. Sunder just be a flirt. You're right, yeah. Like, Sunder, for instance, is, like, very, very flirtatious, and he makes some people who are, like, especially people, like, along the ace spectrum, I understand, if you're, like, a little bit, more uncomfortable around characters who are pushy like him. But there are a shit ton of options, fortunately, where you can completely avoid him after you meet him if you want to, which is really kind of nice, because I know for me personally, Sunder's not my guy. Sunder's not my type. He's definitely someone who's an acquired taste or a very specific niche taste. He wasn't built for me. And that's fine, because not everything has to be made specifically for you. You can say, no thank you, Sunder, I will simply hang out with Pocket the Cat. I will simply hang out with my brass knuckle boy. And that's okay. You have that option. That's awesome that you have it. And you will not be shamed for that. I low-key wish you could date Mandy, though. Yeah, a lot of people really, like, every time they meet Mandy, pretty much across the board, it's, who the fuck is this? She's cool! I want to date her. Can we date her? Mandy's great. I hope that down the line, maybe they add, like, a path for that. Because, again, those of you who don't know, Mandy... Or not Mandy. The Kitfox dev team is far from done with adding material to this game. They had a lot of stretch goals on the Kickstarter that they weren't able to implement at release. So lots of cool stuff coming up for all of you. Fingies are just as good for for holding platonically as they are for kissing. True, baby spell. Very, very true. I mean, yeah, but also it didn't ruin the experience to me at all. Even Sunder's fluster-inducing moment for me. I'm glad to hear that because I've definitely heard from like a variety of people at this point about the game. And there were some people who were like, yeah, like some of the characters come on like a little bit strong, but I do appreciate that they overall respect boundaries in the sense of like, even though they like respect me in the moment and still come on later on, which sort of feels like a disrespect of boundaries because like they should have like taken the hint the first time, they will still automatically back off every time you mention it again. You know, you just have to give them those gentle reminders. But there are some people who are like, yeah, I still felt like a little bit uncomfortable about that, which is valid. But again, not all media, like this is a queer team of incredible devs that has done a shit ton of, you know, research and, you know, writing and rewriting to, like, make sure that the game's as inclusive as possible for BIPOC people, for LGBTQ plus people, marginalized groups all across the board. And even with all that work, it's not going to be one size fits all. It is okay when media exists that wasn't made specifically for you. If it's not, just go, hey, it's not made for me. I recognize that. I'm not going to waste my time, so I'm walking away from it. That's okay to do. That's all right. You don't have to partake in the FOMO culture of like, oh, but everyone else is playing it, so I need to play it, even though it makes me uncomfy. How dare the devs do that? For the most part, I think that most people are like really respectful about the fact that like this was a game made by marginalized people for marginalized people, and I hope that those people it was made for aren't trying to hold it to this impossible to meet standard, because it is a labor of love. It is something that a lot of time, effort, and positive, good energy was put into. There is not any malicious intent behind this game at all. This was meant to be an enjoyable experience to as many of the people that it can be as possible. And I think that's a really important thing to point out, is the context of that. So it's a great game in my opinion. Definitely not made for everyone, but I am happy to hear that like a lot of people across different LGBTQ plus identities and spectrums and preferences, etc. I'm so glad it resonated with so many of you because I think queer media is a really important thing that's becoming more and more common. And even though it might not always hit the mark every single time for everyone out there, it's doing its best to. And there's, you know, sure, there's still a lot of lazy attempts out there, but there's also a lot of like really heartfelt, passionate takes on it. And I think the more of that we have that's so sincere, the better for all of us in the long run for just like, you know, acceptance happening and becoming the norm. So yeah. Also, I promise I'm going to bed, but just as a final note, I was so thrilled to see the representation in Boyfriend Dungeon as far as LGBTQ plus things go. Had a lovely time. I'm so glad to hear that, Praline. And seriously, have a lovely night. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you a lot. I would appreciate being able to use they, she pronouns, but honestly, just they, them being an option, and me being able to style my character however I want, regardless, is validating. So something that some of you might not know because it's not explicitly explained in the game is you can change your pronouns at any time during the game. So if you're playing it and you're like, hey, I feel a little bit more they, them today. You can, you know, like I made my character they, them. Obviously, characters are going to respect that and refer to you as they, them. But let's say that you're like between dates and you're like, you know what? I'm feeling like a little bit more she, like she, her today. You can swap that. You can go into the mirror in your bedroom and you can change your pronouns and it will change how people refer to you in the dialogue for that. And I know that's not as good as like, oh, interchangeable, like them saying like, they're really cool. I like how she does that. You know, it's not exactly the same, but it's a cool feature. It's one that 99% of games out there do not have. So that was actually being weaponized against them which is really shitty because I feel like, you know, LGBTQ plus is always going to be the harshest on LGBTQ plus because they're living that experience. They want it to be as one-to-one and as accommodating and aware as it can be, but it often gets weaponized in this really bad way that it's just like setting this impossible standard to meet type of thing where it's like, you know, they implemented that feature because they wanted to. That wasn't a pandering feature. That was not a feature that was meant to make people feel bad. That was meant to make people feel really excited and accepted. And I think that overall, like them doing like, you know, the pronoun thing that you can swap out at any point in the game is a really wonderful thing. Again, a feature that most games don't have. And yet people were still holding them to this impossible standard where they were going like, well, you didn't include neopronouns, so you guys obviously hate people who use those. And it's like, wow, what a weird non sequitur to draw. Like, why would you do that? Why would you attack them over that? That's like a really weird thing because that's not the message that they were sending. They were saying they were pro-pronoun. They weren't saying they were anti-neopronoun. But I saw some of that, and it was really a big bummer to see that because, again, I know how hard this dev team worked to be inclusive, to be genuine, because they are literally LGBTQ plus people. So, yeah. Queer people are held to higher standards. No issues people had with Boyfriend Dungeon were actually really bad, just uncomfy for some, which is valid. Right. Right. It's a really weird high rung on the ladder to meet that nothing has done so far, which is just kind of a bummer. I teared up 3 times with the first few minutes of booting up the game due to how thoughtful this game is. Phoenix, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm glad that you got that kind of experience out of it, because that is definitely, like, it is heartfelt. What a ridiculous yet predictable Twitter take. No game can be all-encompassing of everyone's backgrounds and demands. Right, and even if it can, we obviously haven't had that piece of media made yet, otherwise people wouldn't be using it as, like, the judging block for literally everything. And, you know, like, as much as I want to see that kind of inclusivity and things as well, you know, the fact that we're, like, partway there is progress. That progress is better than nothing. Or literally, like, anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric. You know, like, that would be way worse than what they attempted to do with a Boyfriend Dungeon. So, yeah. If they made it less dark, people would have gotten mad that it was infantilizing queer people and experiences, because I've seen people talk that way about Sawyer because they're a college student. Right, and that's another great approach to it as well, is like, you know, strife and uncomfortable situations and dark storylines happen to queer people just as much as they happen, oftentimes more, than happens to cis and straight people. And I think that it's important to not water down a story for the sake of comfort sometimes. Granted, I think there's a limit to that. I think that, like, when people include disturbing material just to include it to get, like, some shock value, that's fucked up and stupid. But that's not what this game was doing. That's not why they were doing that. This was telling, like, a really real, unfortunately relatable story, even amidst all the fantastical shit that goes on in Boyfriend Dungeon. But I think that it did a good job of, you know, telling a story that had impact. Sending some love to anyone who needs it tonight. You're all important to me. Thank you, Dichotomy. Thank you so much for the bits as well. But that kind message to the community is really nice. While I can see how some parts could be uncomfy for some people, as a sex-repulsed asexual, there was nothing in it that ruined the experience for me. It's sad that a game that is trying to be inclusive is having that used against it. It's so rare to see that kind of representation they had, and we should be celebrating that, not tearing it down. Right, yeah, I really wish that people, instead of going, oh my god, this is the worst game ever made because they missed this, this, and this, went, all right, it's not a perfect game, we can admit that, but God, it's a step in the right direction. Look at these things they included. That's wonderful. And that's not, like, dumbing it down for people or anything like that. That's not being like, oh, well, we'll just take what we can get. These were very thoughtful, like, steps in the right direction. This was very thoughtful progress, and I felt so bad because, again, we talked about it with, like, Alex Octopimp, who voices Eric. He obviously got a ton of news coverage, actually, because he was getting death threats sent to him just for voicing the character and deciding to take the role, because that's the new weird take, I guess, online. But it's one of those things where even the devs were getting some death threats because they hadn't done enough for the LGBTQ plus community, and people were praising them too much, people thought. And I thought that was like a really fucking weird takeaway. Agreed, you can curate your feed and the content you consume, but it's ridiculous to expect artists to dull down things just so a vocal minority can enjoy it. Yeah, like, obviously we want to see people try their best to be inclusive, but again, not all media is going to be made exclusively for you as an individual, and that media is allowed to exist. It sucks sometimes because, yeah, occasionally that media ends up being problematic and terrible, but at the same time, there's media that isn't horrible and problematic, that is just doing its best to be inclusive, doing its best to be as good as it can be. That's still not going to resonate with you because it wasn't made for you. And I think that it's okay to admit when, like, hey, that stand-up special on Comedy Central or Netflix or that video game or that movie, that wasn't meant for me, so I'm just not going to watch it. I'm just not going to watch it. It wasn't meant for me. That's okay. I'm going to walk away from that one. I'm not going to get mad at the world for not always catering to me. And, like, obviously that is not the same as, like, being mindful of how we talk to people and trying our hardest to be inclusive of people, because I think that is an important thing we do have to focus on. But we can't judge everything on the same base scale of perfection. That is an insane, just unrealistic standard to hold everything to. So, yeah. Something can be good and not problematic or whatever, and it can also not be right for you. Exactly, yeah, exactly. I could write a story about a little bunny rabbit that is going through a meadow, and some people will go, oh my god, so cute, this is perfect and wonderful. Some people can go, hey, that's really fucking boring. That's been done a million times. What boring media you put out? That's not for me, so I'm just not going to consume it. That's okay. Not everything is made for everyone. That's okay. That is A-okay. So just a gentle reminder to people who get caught up in that sometimes. Yo, thank you, Alicia, for the 38 months. What the heck? Thank you so much for 38. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. Baby Spell, get some good rest. Thank you for being here, hanging out with us. We appreciate you a lot. Ariel, nice to see you as well. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much. 38 months is such a long time. Screams in Camp Leader. Little Bunny Foo-Foo. Oh boy. Little Bunny Foo-Foo hopping through the forest. I sometimes wonder if there's an age generation thing going on, because those of us who grew up with shock comedy that still made solid points, like South Park in the beginning, seem to be more okay with this might be uncomfortable, but it serves a purpose thinking. I don't like leaning into even implied ageism with that. I obviously, because here's the thing, young people will always have stronger, like really strong opinions, because they, nuance is something you sort of learn throughout time. And this is not an insult to young people. This is just the way that it works when you go through life and experience like a bunch of shit. Young people are always going to have like sort of stronger knee-jerk reactions to things, because nuance doesn't exist in the same scope as it does for an adult. That said, I think another important aspect of that to talk about is I don't like the older generations thing. I'm 35, for those of you who don't know. I'm 35. I'm literally an elder millennial. I am a absolute fucking boomer when it comes to some shit. But I've still managed to educate myself, make myself as, like aware of things, make myself more mindful in how I talk about things or what I engage in. There's way too much in my generation and older that does this fucking annoying thing I really fucking hate, where they go, we were raised in a different time where shock value was used all the time, therefore we're emotionally stronger. No. We're fucking idiots. We were taught to push down and suppress our emotions so that we'd put up with traumatic events in a really fucking unhealthy way. I don't fucking like that at all. I think that's the dumbest motherfucking take from older people. I cringe every time a millennial, someone who's my age, says that. I want to punch them right in the fucking mouth when they say that shit. So it's one of those things where like there needs to be a balance. Like, yes, the world will never accommodate specifically for you. If you're triggered by certain things, trigger warnings on media that you're consuming, that masses are like large numbers of people are consuming, yes, let's do more of those. Let's make them very specific. Let's make sure that people are aware that this might not be for them. At the same time, you know, if your trigger is, let's say, like one that's really common I see a lot is like eating. People like are like, oh man, when people talk about eating, like, you know, I wish there was content warnings on that every single time because like I had an eating disorder or something. That's totally understandable. That is absolutely understandable that like you've dealt with that. That fucking sucks. I 100% think you're valid in like feeling those feelings when you are, you know, experiencing someone talking about food to you or something. But there's a really big difference between someone who's aware of that, who's within your sphere, who you have explained that to, going, yo, in context, I know that this is something you're uncomfortable about, so I'm not going to talk about it with you, or I'm going to give you like a pretty sizable content warning ahead of time. And you going on, you know, a morning walk and walking by a restaurant and getting like overwhelmed by that. We can't shut down restaurants. That really fucking sucks that is something that you have to deal with. That is a valid experience that you're dealing with. But at the same time, like we have to obviously be aware that the world is unkind at times. The world is unaccommodating at times. The world does have certain things in place that, you know, like a restaurant is something we can't undo. That is something that's a regular part of society. So we also have to have some level of personal responsibility where we are avoiding the things we know we don't like. And also being aware that sometimes things aren't meant maliciously. And sometimes things aren't meant to be insensitive. And I think it's like really, really important to like remind ourselves of that, of like that thing that person said that bothered you might not have come from a terrible place. And this might be a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for you to educate them on something. And not like, you know, tell them they're horrible for saying the thing they said, but explain the history behind it or the context behind it. So, yeah. Sometimes good people hurt others on accident. Absolutely. That's a great way to explain it, is none of us are perfect. We've all made mistakes, sometimes egregious ones that, you know, maybe in the moment it was because of the condition we were under and we did something really fucking terrible. And sometimes it was a complete accident. So just, you know, be the sort of kindness to others that you hope they give back to you. You know, the treat others the way that you want to be treated type of thing. But like, be understanding. You know, education is key. Getting instantly mad without letting people know why is unfair. Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of importance to making sure that we are not pushing away potential allies as well when it comes to especially marginalized groups. Like, we do have every right to be angry about a lot of things that are going on in the world, but at the same time, we need to gauge context. We need to gauge weight of you know, situations and different conditions that we find ourselves within. Like, if one of my friends says a word that has been deemed like, you know, more inappropriate, but I know that they grew up in a household where that was said all the time, and even though it wasn't a great thing, I'm gonna go, hey dude, that was fucking terrible that you said that. Here's why though. And then if they push back and they go, well, I grew up in a household where we said that all the time and it was fine. And I go, well, you're not allowed to center yourself in this conversation because of course you're not offended. It's not something that punches down at you. And they keep pushing back. That person's no longer my friend. But if they take a moment and they go, well, fuck, you're right. Oh my God, I'm really shouldn't be doing that. I didn't know that was a thing. We've maybe gained someone who's going to go on and educate themselves more and help tell their friends about it and do more and more and more, and we can normalize getting rid of the shitty stuff that's out there. That's what I want to see. So I just hope that that more people are like open to that in the future. That applies to so many things too. Yeah, I mean that applies to like gatekeeping and fandoms and shit as well. Like how do you not know about this thing? What are you, fucking stupid? You know, like I see that all the time, and it's like, listen, the internet is fucking gigantic. There's hundreds of like TV shows and movies and video games and whatever, like books put out every year. There's no way everyone can keep up with fucking everything out there, dude. Like, there's no way. Cut people some slack on that kind of thing. Wouldn't you rather, like, explain, like, oh, you don't know? This is, you know, this thing that I've been really into and, like, a lot of people find really popular. It's cool. Here's what it's about. Maybe you'll like it now. That's so cool. I love telling friends about something I'm really into that they don't know much about. And seeing them get into it and like genuinely being like, I can't believe I didn't know about this before. This fucking rocks. Yeah, this is awesome. It's really, really cool. I really, really do like that. This is why I don't like dog piles on social media where people are called out and bombarded before even getting a chance to respond. Yeah, I mean, there's a limit to it, obviously. Like, obviously, if someone's like outrageously, egregiously terrible in a take, like, you know, my, the results of your actions certainly look like consequences right now, dipshit. But obviously, yeah, not for every little thing. And I think that we're definitely getting to a point where, like, we're struggling to find a balance. We definitely need to work on that, you know, as much as we can, where there's empathy and understanding while we're still holding people accountable for, like, crappy shit that they do. And I think that, like, there's obviously a lot of stuff out there that, like, if you don't know it now, then you are willfully ignorant and, like, fuck you. But there's definitely a lot of stuff that we as a society are, like, learning slowly together. So, yeah. Up until last year, I wouldn't watch anime because I was of the opinion it was for kids. Then I watched a podcast where someone explained why they love it. I decided to give it a chance, and now I love it. Definitely not for kids, because a lot of anime out there have some, like, really heavy, hardcore, adult, mature storylines and things. But I'm glad that you opened yourself up to something new. And yeah, hey, cool, you found a new hobby. I think that's really, really cool. But yeah. You certainly fucked around and found out. Bigoted user with many numbers on Twitter.com. Yeah, my favorite thing that people still, like, link underneath, like, replies and shit is still the, like, hi, my name is first name, last name, bunch of numbers, and I have incredibly shitty opinions. Like, that is still one of my fucking favorite things on all of social media. That is one of my favorite things to see spammed at, like, dickheads. It's great. What do you mean? Berserk is rated E for everyone. Oh, God. Fucking Berserk, dude. Fun fact, going to Hawaii, talking about media that is not made for everyone. Berserk. Wow. Oh, yeah. Full Metal Alchemist and Demon Slayer have taken over my life. Definitely know now certain/most anime is not for children. Yeah, there's a reason, like, so many adults are, like, into that. Over in, like, Japan or here, you know, like, it's kind of cool to see the normalization of a lot of anime, as someone who got to, like, grow up with sort of, like, the Western localization of it. But yeah, I also do understand that, like, some people see it and go, what? That's, like, just cartoons, right? Without really fully knowing the history behind it. It is still a very niche interest when you look at the overall mainstream society, you know? Off I go again. Oh, Jinx, take care. Get some good rest. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, that picture is always relevant on that website. Yeah, I literally hope that picture never goes away. I hope that picture never, ever, ever goes away. That is my favorite picture on social media. My name is first name, last name, bunch of numbers. It's fucking hilarious. What do you mean JoJo's Bizarre Adventure isn't for a 6-year-old? Oh my God. Have you guys been seeing that? Okay, this might be a boomer reference. Hey, Hanixis. Good to see you, by the way. This might be a boomer thing because I think it's probably been going on for a while. But the JoJo challenge on TikTok, where people, like, they're standing and they bend backwards. That shit's insane. I used to be able to do that when I was, like, 16, I was like super flexible. I would have been able to like do the stand up and bend my back all the way backwards shit. Yeah, the Dio pose. But they just call it like the JoJo challenge on TikTok. People have been doing that. It's fucking crazy to see. It's so cool. I haven't been able to be that flexible in many, many years. It's been a long ass time. Moira B, thank you for the 6-month resub. I really appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. 6-month resub, becoming a gold Eevee. You are awesome. Seriously. Dio! It was me, Dio, the whole time. I fucking love that meme. It's very, very good. Horse round top. What the fuck does that mean, dude? What is the horse round top? Oh, here's the center pull ring.
Hello, friends. It's been a while.
Yo, Melanie!
I'm almost done with my third ever
Thank
week of
you.
college classes. How have you all been?
Melanie, I hope the college classes are going well. Thank you so much for dropping by to say hello. We appreciate you a lot. Thanks for using your Prime. Your Bezos Bucks of the month are used on this channel, and that is so appreciated. 7 freaking months here. Saw someone do that while playing the Dio theme on their sax. It was insane. I saw that one, Bubble Juice. That one was nuts. That is like the crazy... I love TikTok because it is... Like, I love and hate TikTok. Like, I jokingly say I hate TikTok, but I honestly think TikTok is one of the best social medias that has come out in a long time. It's definitely started to finally fill the void that Vine left. And it's like the range of creativity on TikTok is already nuts. But the idea that anyone can blow up on TikTok, a grandma who's just filming their kitchen and happens to like drop a pan of like eggs, like can go viral on TikTok. That's really neat to me. Like, it has a much more, like, fast-paced, like, consumption rate. So people are, like, scrolling through content faster and, like, able to find that type of content quicker than a lot of other social media. And I fucking love that about it. And you don't need, a professional setup. You don't need a streamer setup. You don't need, like, a good YouTube microphone or camera. You can literally be, like... Mima was making eggs at like 6 in the morning and was like, "Oh, dearie, do you want some?" Oh! And then like it got on camera. Like and then that goes viral. I love that about TikTok. But like the crazy range of creativity, everything from that to the dude doing a Dio pose while playing the Dio theme on saxophone is fucking cool. I love that. Love a lot of the TikTok trends. I just wish there was a solid way to credit the originators of dances and things. Yeah, I agree. Like, clicking on the original sound to, like, go back to whoever made it, like, A, is a pain in the ass. We already know at this point with social media that click-through rates are garbage. No one actually, like, does them. Like, it's a very low click-through rate when it comes to anything out there. It is a bummer that there's not, like, a better way to credit those people. Because a lot of the times, yeah, that creates those giant viral trends and stuff like that. Sing Song Soul, hello, hi, welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here. My nephew got through his surgery today well. He got a little silly from the meds they gave him to help with the pain. It's hilarious. Oh man, David after dentist time. Hello, Roxy. I'm sorry if I didn't say hi to you earlier if you were here. Been a little bit just in my rant zone tonight, so I haven't been reading chat quite as much. But I'm glad to hear that your nephew's okay. And Lucy, hello, hi, welcome to the stream as well. I just gave myself a concussion in the game, apparently. Horse ring. What is the horse rod? Oh, horse rod top. Oh, it's one of these. It's one of these guys. Oh, man. I think it's this one. Yes, we found it. Carousel looks incredible. The others are going to lose it when they see it. I can practically smell all that hard cash in my hands already. Thanks so much. You're welcome, Stacy. I thought you had a passion for carousels, though. It wasn't just about the money for you.
Punch me in the
What the hell? I feel lied to.
Poggers.
Yo,
I'm
4
happy to
months.
support you, Brian. I rarely watch the stream lately because school has started for me. I'm sorry, but I hope you're doing well.
Never, ever, ever apologize for not making it to streams. Cookie Bean, thank you for the 4-month resub. You guys got your own lives. You got your own priorities. I say it every single time because I fucking mean it. I never am like, oh, man, people didn't show up for this stream. Man, you guys suck. Like, it's never that way. You have your own priorities, your own lives. Even if you disappear for months, those of you who have done that and then come back, you know the door is always open for you. We appreciate every minute you can spend here. Seriously. But positive note on job, hee bits will go per. Wait, do we still have that Shouter Gang command? Ugh, I didn't get enough Bezos coin today. Worthless. Oh, God. Yeah, literally, I hope people know the only time I ever make jokes about needing more subs or bits is
I have bits.
is completely as a joke. It is totally parody. It's totally satire. Until this year, I had trouble accepting bits and subs and donations. I could not do it without going, you didn't have to do that. I'm not worth it. Oh, I don't deserve it. Like, that's been a positive aspect of my therapy, is like having a little bit of self-worth and going, hey, I'm providing content. I'm providing stuff. People, if they want to tip their waiter for the night, they'll do it. But like, I will never like straight up ask you guys for money unless it's a charity stream. Thank you so much, Broken Nerdy, for the 100 bits. Thank you so much for helping kick off this hype train. And NatCat, thank you so much. Nat, I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for the bits. Thank you. You deserve every ounce of support, Brian. Thank you, Kymar. That's a nice thing to say. Well, we did the carousel. We got the big drill now, which I'm kind of excited about. Blake Thrust is this guy's name. A little bit on the nose, I gotta say. Dichotomy, thank you for the bits as well. Is this the Dirt Finder General? I have been given your details by the mayor as a person who can wash things and keep the dirt to themselves. Meet Holy Moly, my subterranean mining unit. It's a one-man excavator that I use to scour the Earth's crust for valuable mineral deposits. Well, not me personally. I just tell them where to dig. Anyway, you may find some unusual mineral traces during the clean. Please dispose of them judiciously. Okay, sure. You gonna pierce the heavens? Oh man, freaking Gurren Lagann, what a show. I wish. I want a galaxy-sized mecha. I miss the humble Beagly. Now I just want Bezos. That's me. All right, you guys, you heard it. We got a hype train. We better get 5,000 subs right now, or I am going to sue every one of you. I'm going to ban everyone here. I don't care if I get 0 viewers. You'll all be banned, and you'll never be able to use my emotes again. Ina, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh my god, can you imagine, though? Thank you, seriously. That's really, really kind of you. I will say it is nice to see you not being sad about getting support from us because you will only continue to get it. Yeah, I was never sad. Like, I was always like, holy shit, I can't believe it. But it was more of like I felt bad that people were paying money to support my stream because I literally didn't think my content was worth it. So yeah, I guess there was like some sadness in there, but it was more of like disbelief that like I ever made anything of value. Thank you. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Nat, for the gifted sub to your boy back again. And Moira B, thank you for the gifted sub to Sing Song Soul. That's so nice of you. If either of you are here in chat who just got a gifted sub, make sure you say thank you to the respective people. That's really kind of you. Really, really cool of you. Thank you for supporting the stream. That's so, so nice. Really appreciate it. I do. I haven't really been pushing September because obviously, like, a lot has been going on Twitch that's still very slowly being taken care of. But again, anyone who does like donate bits or subs or anything, please know that that's not like me being like, oh, like fucking take all money off of Twitch. Don't give them a cent. It's nothing like that. Like, it's more the principle of like we wanted our voices heard. We wanted people to be aware of what was going on. We wanted some acknowledgement from Twitch. And granted, they're dragging their feet on solutions, but at least they've heard us. So anyone who donates like subs or bits or anything like that, please be aware it means the fucking world. It really does. It means so, so much. It's crazy to see our sub count like go back up this much again. It's wild. Thank you very, very much. Head empty, not the right word. Your imposter syndrome is getting better. It's nice to see the realization that you're worth support and care from your community. I'm hoping it's also translating into your personal life because that's very important, and I don't know, you're cool and your brain should agree. Thank you so much, Wallowy Willowy. That's so nice of you to say. It has a bit. Like, here's the thing. It's been sort of coming and going, especially in my personal life. When it comes to, like, self-confidence and, like, feeling like I deserve anything, it is it definitely has become a lot easier for me to not say, hey, I don't deserve that here on stream. And you guys are very good at holding me accountable. In my personal life, a lot of times I definitely hit the wall. Actually, last week is a perfect example of it. I was not in a good headspace last week. I would end a stream and I would look at Morgan and I'd go, I think everyone fucking like doesn't like my streams. I suck. I'm probably not fun to watch. I was like doing this awful spiraling that I know now is not the truth. If everyone hated me, nobody would show up for streams. Nobody would donate or like gift subs or anything or join my fan house or any of the stuff that you guys do. Buy my merch. Like, people wouldn't be proudly posting pictures on social media wearing my merch if people hated me. But I was like, just in, you know, that's mental health. It comes and it goes. It gets better gradually over time. Progress is not linear, etc. But I was like in that mindset a lot last week where I was just like, man, my channel fucking sucks. And like, I wouldn't be surprised if it just totally dies. And I was just like doing this, like, I was just beating the shit out of myself a lot behind the scenes. But I try not to bring that energy here at all. And again, I'm at the point where, like, I caught that. I talked to my therapist, worked through it, and, you know, I'm here now today. I'm having a fucking blast. This week has been fantastic, honestly. This week has been really fun. So, yeah, it is getting better. Like, Morgan's been really helpful with that as well. But it's clearly not, like, a perfect process or anything. I actually hate you, Brian. That's why I throw money at you. Moira B, thanks for another gifted sub to Lana Salma. That's so nice of you. Lana, if you're here, make sure that you're saying thank you to Moira B. Enjoy the emotes, enjoy the sub badge. Thank you so much.
Chat less than 3.
Yo, Book Lover, I'm so sorry to hear that you're stressed. I hope that seeing a little bit of Power Wash and can help dissipate that stress as we're hanging out here tonight. Appreciate you dropping by. Really appreciate the 9 months. That is a wild amount of time. Thank you so much for being here. We really do hope that we can help mitigate some of that stress going on. I mean, we're literally playing the most relaxing video game that's ever been created in the world. So I know I'm having a chill time tonight. I'm having a really good time hanging out with people and talking about stuff we're talking about. I hope everyone else has been, you know, at the very least, you got something different out of tonight that, you know, you've thought about things that you might not have thought about before, or you are just having fun. Again, my number one goal is people walk away from these streams and they go, man, that was really pleasant. That was fun. It was a good time. Shira, PP, nice. 69 viewers, nice. That is nice. That is very, very nice. But welcome, Shira. I hope that things are going well. I've been keeping up with a few of your tweets, and it's very nice to see you surviving and thriving. Sir thriving, as they say. That's not mine, by the way, chat. I saw that in like a tweet or something. I can't remember. But nice to have you here. Welcome. Things are going as they do in college. No, Brian, I hate you so much that when I need a body double to get shit done, I put on the VODs. I'm glad that I can keep people company even via the VODs. I really appreciate how you responded to my takes you disagreed with by being polite but giving me things to think about. It's part of why I like hanging out here. It takes a lot. So here's the thing. Those of you who've been around for a while know I've not always been the most gentle person when it comes to responding to people who have like takes that disagree with me. For a while it was like a bit where I was like messing around and being like, haha, that's a dumb take you have a pleb brain, and I'd just be like a weird ass because like that's my brand of humor is like sarcasm. And like now I don't do that quite as much because obviously, especially getting in touch more with like my own communication issues with being like neurodivergent and stuff. Like, yeah, sure, we occasionally slip into that over here. We definitely have a very sarcastic community, which I love because it is right up my alley when it comes to sense of humor. But I do, like, when we're having serious conversations, I'm not going to talk down to people for, like, not seeing things my way. I'm not going to do that. But I used to, yeah, sometimes I'd get like a little bit snappy and stuff like that. Brian can be savage. Yeah, I can. I definitely can be. And it's not that I'm not anymore. It's just, again, there's nuance. If someone is being like an absolutely douchebag-filled piece of shit in chat, I'm going to 100% roast the crap out of them. That's just what I do. It's fun for me. It's normally fun for you. If it's not, it's still fun for me. But if someone's just, you know, like, hey, but Brian, what about this? I'm not going to shit on their head, you know? So, yeah. Serious talk time is always fun. Def makes me think when we have those combos. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other part of it is like, I think I would not be practicing what I preach if I was like, yeah, nuance and educating potential allies instead of like attacking them and scaring them away. Like it would not be like, that would not be practicing what I preach if I was like, oh, well, fuck you for that take. Oh, you're clearly a hateful, terrible, bigoted person who doesn't belong here. Get out of here. Like that would be the opposite of what I was trying to make the point of. So, yeah. Hey, Brian, have you heard about Skorts? Get the fuck out of here. All right, mods ban 1 billion for 27 years, please. Community brain cell is at peak performance during serious talks and or when dunking. Hey, you dipshits, be more nuanced and think more critically about other people having different backgrounds. Yeah. I mean, we're always gonna, like, make fun of shit and play up jokes and, like, make light of certain things, obviously, again, within reason. But, we're not hateful people. Like, we have very clear community boundaries, like I was talking about earlier in the stream. Like, I set my boundaries, and I make them really fucking clear. And if you cross those boundaries, that's a you thing. That's a you issue. You did that. You decided to go, hey, I'm gonna fuck up my ability to be a part of this community. But if we're just having respectful conversation here, fuck, why not? I'm not gonna chastise people for that. Corey, take care. Thank you so much for being here. The hate on Skorts I will never understand because it's just a safer skirt. To be fair, Catgirl stream, those of you who remember, within the first, like, 2 minutes of the stream, we had an incident, and if I had been wearing a skort instead, it could have been completely avoided. So, I can see their function. And here's the other, I literally own a skort. The like, very first, like, Girbeagly cosplay I ever did, like, on stream, like, with the purple sweater, like, long ago. I had, like, a bad wig and, like, a purple sweater. That was in a skort. That skirt was not a skirt. It was a skort. So it's not like I haven't used one. It's just, I don't really like them. I don't know why. I don't know. I just don't like them that much. All right? That's my that's my ninja way. Okay? Skorts are cool. Well, enjoy them for you. More for you, then. I'm not going to be, you know, elbowing you out of the way when there's a super skort sale at the store. That's for you now. But, yeah, outfit malfunction. Yeah, I could have avoided that by wearing a skort. So I will admit to that much. But be free under your skirt, Brian. I will admit to that much, but it doesn't mean that I like skorts. Don't let them pressure you into the skort. I mean, again, just because I'm not a skort enjoyer doesn't mean I can't recognize the utility of them and can't recognize that I own one and wore one on this stream. Save the Abbeys, thank you very much for the bit. Sorry I can't stay long, but I wanted to pop in and say hi. I hope you're having a great night. Sorry for so many emojis. I wish I could put all my cheers into one so it doesn't seem spammy. I think you can by just typing cheer and then the number all as one word. uppercase C, but maybe not with the emoji ones. I can't remember. Choosing a 1 and doesn't seem spammy. I didn't realize when I sent many in one chat that it would make them all individually show up. It's fine. I mean, it wasn't that many. Thank you so much for the bits. Hope that you're having a lovely night. Lucy, thank you for the gifted sub to Save the Abbeys. That's really nice of you. Thank you so much for that. That's really cool of you. Yes, you can just edit the number. Yeah, okay, so there you go. So you can just write cheer. So it's not cheer whatever. It's like I think it's the name of like the emoji or something. I don't remember. I don't remember. What was it? There was there's some way to do it, I know. Like, there is a way to do it with the emoji ones. But I think it's like, yeah, you have to like type like Corgi cheer like 500 or whatever the hell it is. I had no idea. Thank you. I sent someone 50 and was like, oops. Also, thank you for the gifted sub. Aw. It's still like, yeah, just like that. You figured it out. See, I don't have a brain, so I don't know. Thank you, though. Thank you so much, Save the Abbeys. That's so nice of you. Seriously, thank you so much for testing that out here. That was very kind. You did it. All right, we're almost done with the drill. Just the drill, like, giant drill bit part. Oh, my God, we're so close to this being done. And then we get to find out because we don't get 2 jobs. There's no 2 job slots right now. There's only the 1 job they're handing me at a time. I want to find out. I really want to find out what's unlocked after all this shit. It's going to be great. I miss chatting in chat. I've been having stream on in the background while working on college stuff. So this is nice. Well, it's nice having you here. Seriously. I hope that college stuff is going fairly smoothly. We'll say on the topic of skirts, I got a super cute one at Goodwill for like $4. I'm excited to wear it. To what? I have no idea. Yeah, but it never feels bad when you find like a cute piece of clothing. I mean, like, I can definitely agree with that. I have so many clothes that I haven't worn on stream yet for cosplays that I will be doing because I'm trying to do it at least once a month now, do the Girbeagly cosplays. Yeah, I just bought, like, for the Catgirl cosplay, like, that was a brand new tennis skirt that I had just bought. It was super cute. I love that thing. Morgan and I actually have plans to hopefully be able to go, like, thrifting, like, during an off-peak hour at one of the local nearby thrift stores for this month's cosplay, because for those of you who follow me on Fanhouse, already put up a post about what I'm probably going to do, and I know a lot of you were excited about that, so you got an early sneak peek about what we're probably doing. But I think it should be fun. It's going to be like a fun look to do. It should be a very fun look. By the way, I don't know if I think I got distracted. I don't know if I said goodbye to Corey. If I didn't, I feel very bad. But goodbye to Corey, who left like 5 straight minutes ago. Thanks for being here. Feel bad. Let's go thrifting. Oh, I told you I want to go thrifting the other day, and you said we got to look through all the clothes you have already to see if, like, what we will actually need. So we got to do that very soon. Yes, Morgan has been probably lurking, I'm assuming. I did say goodbye to Corey. Okay, I'm not a terrible person. Up3, hello, hi, welcome to the stream. Just doing some chill Power Wash Sim. My favorite game to rant for 45 minutes straight about the same thing during. Moira B, thank you for the gifted sub to Up3. That's so nice of you. Up3, make sure you're saying thanks to Moira B, but also make sure you're enjoying being a part of the community as a sub. Enjoy your emotes, enjoy your sub badge. Thank you to both of you for being here, supporting the crap out of these streams. You're all so kind. It's awesome. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. I know so many people are busy during, like, back to school season. So those of you who, like, can only make it for a little bit, those of you who can only make it on certain nights, I get it. Please do not feel bad. Please don't come in here apologizing that you haven't made it to streams, because you know that the door is always open for you, and we appreciate anything you can give, and everything that you've already given. Like, seriously, thank you so much for being here. It's been a blast to just mellow out during, like, the summer to fall season.
Lesbian?
Whoa, what the heck?
The other L word.
Thank you so much. That's really nice. Thank you very, very much, Up 3, for the 5 gifted. That's super generous of you. Thank you. We got gifted subs going here for Origami Joy Love, Psycho Snack 108, C Games XOX, The Shy Owl, and Quintoff. If any of you are here, make sure you are saying thank you to Up 3 because that was really kind. Paid forward kindness. That was a redundant sentence, but it has to make sense because it's the only one I'm going to say. Thank you so much. Seriously, that really means a lot. Got to pass it along. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Morgan is lurking. She opened the door just a little bit and is just looking at you for 2 hours, just standing in the dark with Stinky. Well, Morgan's not home right now. Morgan's actually visiting her parents right now. So that is why she is just lurking here and there. But I do appreciate her watching. I'm assuming her parents are probably watching as well. Stinky is here with me. Although I haven't really encountered Stinky, so yeah. McCory, thank you so much for hanging out. We really appreciate you being here. Again, congrats on the job that you got. The fact you're working with Finji is amazing to me. Whatever game it ends up being, you know I'm going to get it. I'm very excited. Morgan's not home right now. She's actually on the moon collecting moon rocks. She told me herself. Well, I believe that. That sounds like something she would do. DW Lulu, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Get some good rest. Thank you very much for being here. You're awesome. Very much appreciated. All right. Let's get this giant stinky drill done. We're almost done with, well, we're not really almost done. It's not even a passing grade yet. I don't know why I said that. We're almost done at 61%. No, we're not. We're literally not. All right. Almost there. Almost there. Ain't got time for messing around. I haven't watched that movie in too long. Wait, weren't we gonna do, mods that are here, weren't we gonna do a movie night where we watched Princess and the Frog? Because I'll make it to that one. I love that movie. I loved that movie so much that when Blockbuster was going out of business, Morgan and I loved that movie so much that Blockbuster had a copy of it when they were like liquidating all of their stock. My mom says hi. Hi, honey. Hi, Frank. They had all their like Blu-rays and DVDs and shit out, and you could just go in and buy anything. You could like go in and buy shelves and shit. They had a copy of Princess and the Frog on Blu-ray. It was the only copy in the store, but it didn't have the case. It didn't have the original case. It had a generic Blockbuster case with just like a little label on it that said Princess and the Frog. And we liked it so much, we were like, no, like we gotta own this movie right now. And we didn't like have the money to like buy like the official like Blu-ray from like Best Buy at that time. So we were like, we can spend like $7 on this Blu-ray. Because like the Blu-ray had just come out or whatever, and it was like $25 at like Best Buy, and we were like, we can't afford that right now, so we're gonna get the $7 one at Best Buy. But that's how much we liked it. Was we just like got this like, it wasn't bootleg, but it was just like a shitty copy that had been like rented a million times by families and like was not in the original case. But that's how much we liked that movie. I forgot that Pat F existed in the same time as Blockbuster. Wait, Pat F? I have a story about Princess and the Frog. Please do tell. I'd like to know. Thanks, chat, for saying hi to Morgan's mom. I miss physical media. I still occasionally buy like Blu-rays. Like streaming has definitely changed the way I've consumed media. Like there's definitely that instant gratification that I think affects all of us with the ability to go onto a streaming service and just watch whatever we want at our fingertips immediately. There's some aspects of physical media that I miss, but I've come to realize a majority of it is just the nostalgia of like, watching an old VHS tape when I was a kid, but then like owning 20 VHS tapes that took up way too much room. Like our DVD collection takes up like one of those like mini bookshelves, like two of them. Like there's like we have like way too many DVDs and like Blu-rays as is. I do miss like the the descriptions of like the movies on the back of them and like the screenshots, and sometimes they had fun little inserts or like bonus material like on the disc and stuff. Like I do miss a little bit of that. But for the most part, like the transition over to like streaming media has been like fairly convenient for the most part, I'd say. Give me 1 second here, Wally Willowy. This is just kind of long, so I'm just going to read in my brain because it works faster than my mouth, surprisingly. Something that the trailer was watching. Oh no. Well, I hope that you've gotten to see it since. The last time I watched a Blu-ray was when the Wi-Fi went out for a day. Yeah, well, that's something Morgan and I do also, is like if like the Wi-Fi or the electricity goes out, we'll like be like, oh, let's watch a Blu-ray together. But that's obviously like very few and far between. So yeah, completely out of the combo. I just colored my drawing and it's ruined. Ugh, hate that. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope that you can do some sort of corrective coloring. Otherwise, just pawn it off as a color swap, palette variation. Some art does that, Andy Warhol got away with that way too much. It was all fun and games till the disc got scratched. Right. That was what I really enjoyed about Blu-ray, was that it was made with that like anti-scratch technology that like PlayStation discs are made of, where like you can scratch them, but it takes like a lot of work to do it and they don't just get like the natural like super corrupting scratches that like DVDs got. Cause like DVDs, like even if you did everything right, would sometimes scratch in your DVD player and then the disc was unplayable and it would skip and freeze at certain parts. So like Blu-rays had so much less of that. Process over product with art. I got books and hard copies of movies and music. We have random internet outages here. Yeah, like we still own all of that because obviously, again, Morgan and I are in our 30s. So we grew up with all that. We had time to amass significant collections of stuff like that. Again, I'm not like a big collector, but like I had a very small movie collection when Morgan and I first started dating. So I have like some DVDs and VHSs from that. And when we first started dating, we like DVDs and Blu-ray were still the way most people watched it, because it was all the way back in 2008. Holy shit, I'm old. But it was something that we like slowly worked away from because we don't want to like keep taking up our home with like more and more shit. So having hobbies like Pokemon cards and comics that barely take up space are so much better for us.
Of the stream, and remember that despite all of the negativity that may plague your brain, you are loved, appreciated, and we're so happy that you're here. You're working hard and we're proud of you.
I know.
3 good night.
Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you for hanging out here tonight. I hope you had a great time. Get some wonderful rest. Seriously. Thank you so much for hanging out. What was I saying? My brain just went to outer space. Oh, yeah. We both do have pretty sizable book collections, though. Like, we have enough books to take up 2 full, gigantic wooden bookshelves in our home. We have so many freaking books. So many of them unread, by the way, that we just own or, like because we, like, found them on sale, or everyone was like, you gotta pick up this book. And then, like, we were like, okay. We have so many fucking books. Like, we have too many books. But, yeah, it is one of those things where, like, physical stuff, I love having, like, a physical collection of some things. But I've definitely learned, like, the Marie Kondo thing of, like, oh, less clutter is okay. As long as it's still functional, as long as things are still functional, I don't have to have that physical thing of every single thing that I want out there. On that note, I'm headed out. as well. I've got hella classes tomorrow. Good luck to you, Sarah. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Seriously. I'm back. Resident in their dorm. Is in their dorm. This is the third time I have to let him into his room because he forgot his keys. Oh no. That is the life of an RA. Mainly just telling people to be quiet when it's too late at night for them to be making noises and letting people back into their dorms when they forgot their keys. My parents joke about my library above the garage now that I've had to move back briefly. I have a lot of books. Yeah, we have, probably between the two of us, Morgan and I have, like, several hundred books. Like, not even a joke, like, because they're not even all of our books are out. There's literally cardboard boxes in our basement that we still haven't cracked open from when we moved that are full of books. But we do have most of the important ones out, and even that definitely numbers in the hundreds. Those bookshelves hold a lot that we have. We have like these massive, super heavy wooden bookshelves that whenever we are able to move, I do not want to fucking move with because they're 1 billion pounds and I hate them. Like they're nice bookshelves, but they're humongous and they weigh so much and they were terrible to like try to like figure out where they're gonna fit in a home. They're just really big. J-Tibbs, what's up? Nice to see you here. But we do have a sizable collection of books between the two of us. I have so many books, DVDs, Blu-rays. Yeah, I mean, that's just, we're the generation that collected that kind of stuff because that was the sort of the only way you could consume media. Now, if you wanted to, you could go completely without having any physical goods. If you're someone who's like, I don't have like sentimental value, I don't get like attached to like movies or TV or books or whatever, you literally can do it all on your phone. You can like read books online. You can read comic books online. You can watch movies and TV on like your phone and your devices. It's like really fucking cool that that's available. But also, I don't fault people who have like some sort of collection that they enjoy. As long as you're enjoying it, as long as it hasn't gotten to the point where it's like financially dangerous for you and that you're not inconveniencing yourself greatly because of it. Basically, if you have a hobby that doesn't hurt you and doesn't hurt others, fucking go to town. Do your thing. Have fun with it. That's what hobbies are all about. Literally, I have tens of thousands of Pokemon cards and Magic cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards at this point. Guaranteed. I have way too many. But also, if you're someone who doesn't feel that kind of way, that's fine too. You can do it all online now. It's kind of dope. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to buy that book, but I kind of want to read it. Oh, cool. I can rent it from my library app for free and just like fucking read a book on my phone before bed. That's neat. I like that. Love collecting vinyl too. That is another thing that Morgan and I do enjoy collecting. I do love collecting vinyl. We have modern vinyl. I have like some like video game soundtracks. We have a lot of classic rock. Classic rock is our biggest thing. We have some like orchestral classic music that we do. Marie Kondo's cleaning ways help me so much. Yeah, Marie Kondo's method. I've actually not watched any of her stuff. I've just seen clips of it. But her method does seem very, very efficient. So if you're someone who's like, I know I gotta get rid of shit, I just don't know how to start, not even memeing, check out Marie Kondo's stuff. Like, check out some of the tips she has are really good. What if making art hurts me, but I'm an artist anyway? That's the unfortunate fate. That's an exception. That's an exception, not the rule. All artists are hurting themselves always. I'm so sorry that for whatever reason you were born with the natural talent. You put in the time to develop your skills that are fantastic. I'm so sorry that art was that thing. Because every artist I know is miserable. My biggest regret is passing on the Persona 5 soundtrack on vinyl because it's $300 on the secondhand market. Here's the thing. Okay, that was a bunch of noises. I just was tweeting about that. Flippers can eat my whole ass. They can just eat the whole thing. They can put their head up there and suffocate. Anyone who's trying to ruin other people's hobbies by buying a bunch of shit and then reselling it at like 5 times the value because you're an asshole. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, we're like a local comic shop and we buy the comics for under retail price at like $3 a pop. They're retail for $4, and then we sell them for like $4.50 because of like the cost of having overhead as a shop. That's fine, because you're barely profiting. You're not making people's lives miserable paying for that. But if you are buying a PlayStation 5 and you are selling that's retailing at $500, you're selling that for fucking $1,200 on the secondhand market, fuck you. Like, you are a piece of shit. I hate you. You've done this to Pokemon. You've done this to comics. You're apparently doing that to vinyl records. That the pandemic made people super fucking nuts about that shit. It's really annoying. And it sucks because I'm not mad at the hobbies, like collecting hobbies, being oversaturated by new people, because for me, the more people I have to talk about this stuff, the more people interested in things that I've liked like for a long time, the cooler that is for me. Like, I'm so happy there's so many new Pokemon card lovers. I think that's really cool. It's something that was so important to me as a kid that is becoming more and more popular, and people are giving it a shot. When, like, for years, I was, like, ridiculed for liking it, or people just weren't interested. But flippers aren't there for that. They are there to make a quick buck by taking advantage of, like, a market of scarcity. And that is really a big bummer to see. Because it's never like I marked it up a tiny bit, because that would be a little bit more understandable. It's I marked it up a shit ton because I know some shitty rich kid is going to go, $400? What the fuck ever, man? I'll buy it. And it's going to inflate the market in a terrible goddamn way. The rest of us have to deal with that. That's really unfair. TCG, scalpers and resellers literally ruined my life, and getting into the Digimon card game was my biggest mistake in the last decade. I mean, the new one's, like, a lot more available, I've noticed. I think that, overall, like, Bandai Namco, I think, are the ones who are printing that one, are doing an okay job with keeping up with demand. It's definitely less popular, so it's a little bit more scarce. But I have noticed that, like, the prices have stayed retail for the most part. I do, like, I've had to talk myself out of buying Digimon cards like 50 fucking times now at the store. You can ask Morgan. I'll be like, they got Digimon here. Oh man, it's the new set from Digimon. I love Digimon. But, like, I'm already collecting Magic, and I'm already collecting Dragon Ball Super, and I'm already collecting Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm already collecting Pokemon. I can't get into another collectible card game right now. No way. And she's always like, yeah, you probably shouldn't, like, you know, like, do you really want to start spending all your money on that now, too? And she's like the voice of reason. So the only reason I don't currently collect Digimon cards as well and do Digimon card openings on, like, Fan House is because of Morgan being very, 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 very reasonable. Oh my god, Game Boy Colors are posted for like $80 now. Not going down. Finite resources will always go up in price, but things like Game Boys and limited vinyl are being rocketed towards extreme prices at a very fast rate. Scary stuff. Well, Game Boy Colors is a little bit different in the sense of they never, like, remade the Game Boy Color. They were never like, all right, this 25-year-old system needs to have another print of it. They do, by the way, for those who don't know, they do really, really good, like, non-vintage Game Boy Color. Like, they are designed to aesthetically look like a vintage Game Boy Color, but they are like running on, like, more modern wiring and stuff that, like, people have replicated, and they're actually really good from what I've been told. And some of them, like, will actually emulate and run ROM games really well and stuff like that. Stuff the original Game Boy Color did not do. I actually still own my Game Boy Color. It's in my basement here. But, hey, Nina, thank you for the raid, by the way. Welcome, Raiders. We're just doing some late-night chill Power Wash sim, talking about currently the annoying price-flipping, goods-flipping market out there for, like, limited stuff. I do get it that it's really frustrating with vintage goods, because they are very scarce, but at the same time, that product's been out on the market for decades, so that deserves a little bit more to go up in price because Nintendo's never gonna fucking make the Game Boy Color again, most likely. Fantastic system, by the way. Really fun. Game Boy Advance, I loved, though. That was probably my favorite handheld from Nintendo until the Switch came out, which is a combo handheld system is like the best thing Nintendo's ever done. The Switch has been so good. What a fun system. What a fun thing. But vinyl, they repress vinyl all the time, so that's a shittier one for sure. It's really, really annoying to see, especially like limited press stuff, get that treatment, because like video game soundtracks, again, are like something that I'm interested in. I bought the What Remains of Edith Finch vinyl soundtrack long before the vinyl boom, but they did another repressing of it, I'm pretty sure, semi-recently, and it sold out like in a second, and people were complaining because they were like, holy shit, like, where the fuck did all this interest come from? Like, why is this suddenly so hard to get? And it's because of people being jerks. Right, I totally get that. However, 12 months ago, they were going for $30 with Pokemon Red. That's what I have a problem with. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's people like playing the market, which really sucks. Because they're like, oh, I can get away with flipping it for this much more. Yeah, and that's a bummer. That's sort of like playing stocks and shit like that. But like with people's, I don't know, like people's goodwill, which is like really crappy. So I agree on that part of it, sure. That said, I cannot fucking believe the Game Boy Color was going for $30. That's an old-ass system. That's a hard thing to find. That's a collector's item, for sure. That's a piece of Nintendo history. I'm actually really very surprised that was only going for $30, because I really had a lot of fond memories of Game Boy. Pokemon in general also, though, like, if that was attached to Pokemon Red, unfortunately, Pokemon's just a fucking abused, very hot item right now, where like people are like really taking advantage of the market in the worst way possible. Pokemon stuff is becoming on the secondhand market way overpriced because of these creepy flipper people. I don't like them. Pokemon is literally a child's game. It should be accessible to children. If a kid's like, I saved up all month so that I can buy this with my allowance, fucking let the kid do that, man. Don't be an asshole who's like, okay, if you want to buy Pokemon Sword Shield, that's going to be $100, little kid. I don't have that much. Sucks for you. I'm going to get $100 from your rich uncle, though. Like, because he just wants to have it. Like, that's shitty. It's really crappy. Used to have a Game Boy Advance and a couple of SPs, but I have no idea what happened to them. My 2DS doesn't play Game Boy games, so I can't play my love. Wario Land 4, I love that game. That's a great game. That is such a bummer to hear that, Max. My Game Boy Advance is in working condition down in my basement here as well. I have all my old vintage systems. The plan was, when Morgan and I moved in here, by the way, the plan was I was going to set up in the basement, because there's a little corner that we set up like an old tube TV and a little TV stand and a little bookshelf that's full of like old PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 games, Game Boy games, like all my old like retro system games, and all my retro systems like my GameCube, my PlayStation 2, all that shit. It was going to go down there, and it was going to be like a little like corner for me to like have retro gaming, like a retro gaming station. And then instead, our basement became a giant storage unit, and because we get so much shit in the mail, and also from like PR companies and whatever, and also because when we moved in, we got so exhausted from the move-in process, we were like, we'll unpack all that later, and we never did. So some of that shit's been there since we moved in. So we've never properly created the retro game corner, but it is something I would eventually, in my lifetime before we move out of here, like to make, because I think it'd be really fun. Game Boy Colors were in that weird spot between vintage and outdated, so a lot of people just thought it was worth nothing for a minute. Yeah, that does tend to happen with old technology where they're like, oh, this is obsolete, who would want it? But it's so weird to see those trends come back around. Like, people are, like, obsessed with, like, the old, like, NV flip phones from back in the day and, like, the fucking Motorola Razr phones that, like, a lot of us, like, grew up with. When I was a little kid, I used to have a red Game Boy Flip, and my favorite game on it was Kirby. I mean, there was a lot of really good Kirby games during the Game Boy era. A lot of really, really good ones, for sure. I love Wario Land 4. I just found WarioWare Incorporated Twisted for the Game Boy Advance for a crazy good price. I have not had that much fun in a very long time. Such a good game. The whole series of WarioWare is perfect and Chaotic Energy. Oh, shit, guys. I haven't played a Switch game on stream in a long time. I should buy WarioWare for Switch and play the shit out of that. That would actually be really fun if I remember to do that. I loved WarioWare. Morgan and I bought a copy of the WarioWare on Game Boy, or on GameCube, way back in the day, and we used to play that for hours. That game is so fucking ridiculous and fun. That is the type of chaotic energy that goes perfectly with this community, by the way. That was a game made for us. Hey, what's up, A? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you here. Playing Kirby Pinball on my Game Boy Color, and that is way more fun than I thought it was going to be. Kirby Pinball and Pokemon Pinball are two of the most underrated video games ever made. I probably have, like, 400 hours on each of those. Not even a joke. When I was a kid, I would obsessively play those on family vacation, like on the car ride to, like, wherever we were driving to. Those games, Kirby's Pinball Land, I think is what it was called, and Pokemon Pinball, are two of the best games ever made for the Game Boy. So good. WarioWare is coming out tomorrow, I think. I think so. I know it's supposed to come out sometime very soon. Brian, you should play Snipper Clips with your significant other. Yeah, you know, that's a game that's actually gotten, like, rave reviews over the years that I've just never checked out for whatever reason. But I bet Morgan and I would have a blast with that. That would be fun. It'd be very, very fun. Yeah, we haven't done, like, the Animal Crossing streams in, like, a really long time or anything, but maybe I should dust off the old Razer capture card and play some Nintendo Switch games on stream again. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of neat. I mean, I would have fun. Do you have Pokemon Pinball cell? Yeah. Yep. Actually. Wait. Let's do it this way so you can see it up close. Pokemon Pinball. Game Boy Color. Still in the case. Right here, baby. Check it out. So cute. So fun. I love the Pikachu on the front. He's so cute. Catch 'em all with a pinball. Discover a whole new way to collect Pokemon by playing pinball. Hit the targets with your Pokeball to catch and evolve Pokemon. The better you do, the more rare Pokemon you'll find. Every Pokemon you catch is automatically recorded in your Pokedex. See if you can catch all 150. Some Pokemon appear only on the red field or only on the blue field, so you have to play them both to catch them all. And the nice thing about this game is you didn't have to buy 2 copies of the game like you did with the original one. You got to choose if you were playing the red board or the blue board. The new Rumble feature, yeah. Oh yeah, I should show you guys this. The new Rumble feature makes you feel like you're playing a real pinball machine. Trade high scores with a friend using the built-in infrared communications port on Game Boy Color only. Print out your high scores with a Game Boy printer. God, that was the most useless accessory of all time. Only like 3 games ever used it. It was so dog shit. Put it in a box protector. This case is already so beat up because when I was a kid, I would open and close shit. Like, we got some peeling here. We got, you know, I'm never gonna, like, sell this or anything. I literally, like, plan on playing this again at some point for the nostalgia. Yeah, find bonus stages to rack up a high score. Upgrade your Pokeball to a Great Ball, Ultra Ball, or Master Ball. Score even higher. So, this game was so RNG on what Pokemon you were going to, like, come up against. There was, like, this bonus mini game where they'd, like, the special Pokemon of the board would, like, reveal itself in the middle, and you'd have to hit it a certain number of times to catch it with the ball. And I remember as a kid, it was so hard. And I would regularly accidentally, like, hit the ball into it, and it would immediately go straight between my bumpers, and it would go down, and I'd lose, and I'd get so mad at the game because I was like, no, that was the only time I saw Lapras. I really wanted to catch Lapras, and I'd get really, really sad. But yeah, this came with the original instruction booklet. We got this going. See, it's all beat up because I was a child, and I just like to read it over and over again when I couldn't afford to buy new games. So we got Pokemon Pinball booklet. It's got... This is back when, game booklets meant something, and they had, art in them and, actual tips. You couldn't, look up everything online. Here's the red field. That's so cool. That's, really neat. I liked it. But here's the game pack, guys. And you'll notice it's very different from other Game Boy games at the time because it had, much like the Nintendo 64 controllers, Rumble technology was so new. We were like, oh my fucking god, you feel the game in your hands. It's like your hands are in the game. That was such a big development back in the day. They added it to the Game Boy game cartridge. And this shit, when your ball hit something, when it went into the gutter, when it was bouncing around the stage, whatever, this would rumble, and you'd hear it like plastic on plastic, super vibration noise, like the old like your cell phone does when you leave it on a flat surface. You'd hear zzz when it would hit shit, and your hands, the whole Game Boy would go zzz. Oh my god, that's so weird. But yeah. Game booklets had actual lore and game mechanics and official stuff in them. Yeah, it was really a nice bonus. I miss back when video games had manuals and art booklets and stuff. I actually remember saving up when I was a teenager after I got my my first job, and there was this game, this RPG for PlayStation 1 called Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. And they had a special edition set of it for I think it was going for $50 or $60 back in the day. And it came with an art booklet and the soundtrack CD and little stand-up figurines and shit. And I saved up and saved up and saved up because I knew it was coming out because I had a subscription to PlayStation Magazine at the time. And I bought it from FYE. And I was just thrilled because of all the extra goodies in it. I miss instruction booklet so bad. I just got Wind Waker. The instruction booklet is so cool looking. The art is so neat. Yeah, it's always really, really neat. And then, if you guys want to see a true travesty, painful, because, again, I was a child, to be fair, so I really just didn't know any better. But I got original Pokemon Blue in the case. Box ripped to shit. Box torn up, beaten up, ruined, but the original game pack of Pokemon Blue and in even worse condition, the original game box of Pokemon Red. Literally just found these in my parents' basement a few months ago. But just impressed you kept the boxes. Yeah, so I was the kid who I loved anime art. I was an early anime enjoyer and adopter. So anything with anime art on it, which was a majority of games at the time because we were getting them all from Japan. I saved it all. It drove my dad insane because he was just like, all this shit's taking up our house. Hey, what's up, Jenna? Those are so cool, though. Yeah, I'm really happy I kept them. And I'm really happy my mom didn't sell them when I, moved away. Yellow anywhere? No, that was the cartridge I never owned. I never owned Yellow, but one of my friends had it, so I'd borrow it from him. I let him play Pokemon Blue, I think is what he borrowed. Yeah, he borrowed Pokemon Blue, and I borrowed Pokemon Yellow and played through it. It was just a package back then. How could we have known? Yeah, right, yeah. That's the other thing is, if you threw away packaging back then, people, there were some people who collected, packaging back then, but people were like, man, they're, way too into their hobbies and stuff. So, no one really knew that, this craze of, oh, I want, a graded video game box from 1998. No one knew that was gonna become a thing, so, don't feel guilty if you tossed your shit. I brought up a million times, I literally pulled a hollow first edition. Well, no, it wasn't first edition, but it was still a base set holographic Charizard. And I probably ruined the shit out of that because I had all these base, jungle, and fossil Pokemon cards from like the original sets. And I played the game and I shuffled them like this.
The other word.
I shuffled them like that.
Lesbians?
So their edges, their corners, all that shit's probably fucked. None of that stuff is worth more than like maybe a couple $100
Lesbian?
now. Instead of
The
like
other
thousands. But I was a kid. I was playing. I was using a toy as it was meant to be used. And that's another thing going all the way back. Like, I'm so pissed at the flipper market right now because these kids, a lot of them aren't collecting to collect the way a lot of us adults are. Like, some of them are, sure, but like a lot of them are learning how to play the game. They're using the toys as they're intended. It's a kid's game. Don't fucking buy up all the toys they could want and then sell them back for like 5 times the price. That's fucked up. You're ruining a kid's fun. Don't do that. Moira B with 2 more gifted. What the heck? Thank you so much for gifting Andre Fide and Mava425 with those gifted subs. If either of you are in chat, make sure that you are saying thank you to Moira B. That's really nice of you. Thank you so much. Lucy, take care. Get some good rest. Good luck with the advisor meeting tomorrow. We really appreciate you. Gasp. You played the game with the game cards? Oh my god, yeah. So I don't really feel bad about it because I was a kid and I was playing a kid's game. And I had no intention of like selling my shit. But nowadays, modern, with modern cards, like fucking, dude, if there's like if there's like 20 packs left at the store, don't buy all 20 of them. Buy like 10. If you gotta like limit yourself, Let that kid that's like waiting behind you get his fair share, I'm gonna head out now. Moira, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for chilling with us. We really appreciate you. Get some good rest. Enjoy the cards through your streams. I'm so glad to hear that. Why not? I really enjoy opening them and just like having fun talking about whatever while I'm doing a hobby that I genuinely love. Like collecting has become like a really fun thing to get into again because again, I didn't always have the money or the time for it. Back when I was like working a sort of regular corporate job, I just like wasn't into it as much as I was when I was a kid. And then when I got to incorporate it into my own content creation, like that's awesome. It's, 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm making content. I'm hanging out with you guys. I'm getting to add to my collection at the same time. It's been really fun. I sold my Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Disc for like $8 when I was like 6 or something, and I regret it. That thing was so cool. Yeah, I did a lot of that. I've told the stories to chat about. I used to have some really rare Magic cards that a kid who was way older than me on my street, who knew that they were worth a lot more, was like, hey, I'll take that card off your hands. I'll give you this box of 70 cards. And like, I didn't know the difference between like a good card and bulk at the time because I was like literally like 11. So, and this older kid was like pressuring me to trade my cards with him. I was like, oh, wow, that does sound like a good deal. And he just gave me, like, shitty bulk cards. So, here's the thing, though. All those cards he gave me are now worth more than the card that I gave him. So, it worked out fine. Because the card that I gave him was worth a shit ton when I gave it to him, but it fell out of meta almost immediately. Brian, if you know someone who owns a PSA graded Paper Mario, I'll buy it. That's a pretty obscure thing to know someone to have. I think honestly, if I'm gonna give you good advice on that, I would probably just look online for that. I do not know people who like the people I know who own stuff like that will not be selling it. They have it for their own collection. A lot of the creators I know were more of collectors than sellers. So, yeah. Fucking Chris with my Ancient Mew convinced me it was worthless because you couldn't read it. Wah, wah. Ancient Mew, depending on which version of it is, from the Pokemon movie, because that was a Pokemon movie exclusive, but I know that they did some sort of, like, limited print run or something with it. There's one version that's worth, like several $100s, or if not, like $1,000. And then there's one that's worth, like, literally nothing. It's worth like $3. I gave all of the Pokemon cards my brother and I had to my cousin when I was a kid. I have no idea what happened to them, and I wish I would have kept them for nostalgia. Here's the thing, you know, nostalgia is, yeah, something that, like, we all wish we had the convenience of, like, maintaining. But also, like, you gotta keep in mind, you've been through so much as a person. You have moved, you have picked up new hobbies, you've had new friend groups, you have gone to school, and you've gotten different jobs. Your hobbies and your interests change over time. And if that happens, that's okay. Yeah, it's a bummer you gave up that, like, thing that you were into, but, like, it wasn't important to you at the time, and that's all right. Like, you know, you went through a different phase. Don't beat yourself up about it too much. I know, like, with the current craze, it's, like, a lot of FOMO. Like, I'm definitely, every time I go to my parents, I'm looking for my fucking old cards, and I can't find them anywhere so far. But we're getting closer, though. I showed you guys. We got the official trading card books. The trading card books, and I got the old TV cards, which is cool. But I feel your pain in that regard, but also, like, I think a lot of it's through the sort of, like, FOMO currently and rose-tinted glasses thing. Like, I mean, that is what nostalgia really is. But maybe you'll have an opportunity to collect more now or something, or you know, add to your current hobbies. That's always the hope, right? All right, rear door frame almost done here with this big freaking drill, dude. Wheels 3. Oh god, these are gonna be tough because they're like in here, some of them, right? All right, we're gonna have to find this. Anyone else play and trade Bakugan as a kid? No, but I did see that they recently started printing like a Bakugan TCG, like trading card game, that I almost bought because I saw it on sale at a store, and I was like, wow, that's a really good deal for that many cards. And then it's like, wait, I'm psychotic. I am the lunatic that's just buying things just because they're cards. Stop it. So I did not buy them, but I do see them around, semi-free, like more and more frequently. So, yeah. What else do we have to do? One more wheel. Oh, come on, dude. Where is it? Wait, did I just see it? Oh, I saw the tread. Caterpillar tread. Wait, wheel drive? Okay. Damn, this thing's kind of hard to get to, man. Not the biggest fan of trying to get between the crevasse here. Do we have a stool for this one? We do. Okay. Maybe that will help. Oh, yeah. New perspective. Let's go, dude. All right, that was easy. There's the wheel. Rear shielding. Almost done here. Bakugan was such a big thing in my middle school. The whole school played, and we got it banned. I think that's a pretty common thing, too, is, like, any interactive toy that was distracting kids ended up, like, inevitably getting banned. Like, we weren't allowed to bring in, like, a lot of our toys. Like, we originally were allowed to bring in, like, our Power Rangers and Aliens made. I've told this story before, but, like, in the 90s, briefly, for whatever fucking reason, they decided to try to make, like, a kid-friendly, like, you know, like Aliens with, like, Ripley and the chest burster, torch it, you know, shoot it with guns, rated R space horror movie. They tried to make an animated series of that because they just made anything into an animated series in the 90s. And fucking this shit, they made action figures of it. And for some reason, me and my friends were obsessed with the action figures. And they started making them again recently, I saw. I was in Walmart the other day, and they have Alien toys for kids again. It's really weird to see. But, yeah, they banned those in our school because, like, so many kids were getting, like, those in Power Rangers and, like, fighting them with each other, like, in the middle of class and stuff. I feel like as an adult, I know no one else who has ever played it, It's very popular. It's actually still very popular. It's sort of like, it's come and gone, I think, in popularity a couple times because it's never been as big as Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. But it still has a really intense, like, adult and kid fan base. Like, there's so many... If you go into any Target or Walmart or Dollar Tree even, or, like, fucking Five Below or Big Lots, they have Bakugan merchandise. Like, there's a decent amount of it. I see it everywhere I go. So I think that there's, like, a rising popularity amongst young kids, because they are collectibles. Yeah, they're the little balls that transform into the monsters that fight. So, like, kind of the Pokemon aspect, and then adding on to it, like, the TCG stuff, the new cards. I have a feeling those will take off at least a little bit. I mean, they have fucking, like Transformers War of Cybertron cards now, and they have, I don't know, they make everything into a card game at some point. There's a Final Fantasy card game that I really want to get into, but I also don't really want to spend the money on it because it's a little bit harder to find. Y'all remember when fidget toys got banned? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember you guys complaining about it here in chat because that's how long I've been streaming. All right. That is a tremendous job, Dirt Finder. You may have earned yourself some lucrative future contract work. Congratulations. Thank you. I don't know what the other message was that popped up. Sorry, guys. I missed it. There we go. There's our clean big butt drill. We did it. Drilled into the heavens. But yeah, there's fidget toys. It sucks because originally they were created to be accessible for people who like have ADHD or some sort of like tic, neurodivergency in general. And then because they became like a mainstream thing, like kids were playing around with them too much and got them banned from a lot of schools. Which really blows because those were supposed to be like this like thing that helped, and it really is like a bummer to see that. So, yeah, fidget toys are I don't know. I don't know if they're still banned, but I hope that some people get like special permissions to use them. Tex said something about a temple smile. I'm assuming it's clean this temple. Oh boy. At Animal Farm. Animal Farm. Oh, my God. Animal Farm. I get it. Animal says, next door to my farm lives an order of the nicest, kindest, nonverbal monks whose temple is currently caked in manure top to bottom. Oh, my God. This is your farm's fault. It's a heck of a story. I'll fill you in as you go, but basically, they're not here right now. And I thought it'd only be right and neighborly of me to get it hosed down in their absence. Something to give them a boost for when they return. They sure could do with one. Yeah, clearly. Holy shit. You pooped on their temple? I was so pissed, but I do remember one of my teachers practically a real Mr. Feeney to me. She kept drawers of fidget toys for me so I could focus in her class. That's really nice. That is really nice of her. I didn't miss a whole stream. No, you did not, Jay Stitches. Hello, it's nice to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Someone got a fidget spinner with real diamonds in it. I thought it was so stupid. That is so stupid. That is so dumb. Why? Why real diamonds? Are you planning on selling it? All right, we're learning the story from Annie Mall. So, where to start? This is going to be very satisfying, by the way. Guaranteed this job's gonna be fun. Well, you know all about the mayor's pipeline diverting all the water from the river to a secret mining rig, right? In quotes. Everyone knows about it. Yeah, sure. We know about that thing that you just said. These monks have relied on that river to water their crops for time immemorial, and now those crops are failing. Oh, Mayor, you're the villain! The mayor is the antagonist of the game, I guess. Maybe there is a villain. I said there's no villain, there's no stress in this game. Sounds like there's a little bit of a villain going. What the hell, Mayor, you dork? My mom has a box of fidget toys that she has for her students who need them. That's really nice, too. That's wonderful. New game out by the same studio. Power Shitter Simulator. Oh, God. That would be the worst game ever. I have a couple fidget spinners that I don't use because I prefer my Silly Putty. Silly Putty was my thing when I was a kid, for sure. Does it still come in those, like, red, like peanut-shaped containers. Because that's what it looked like when I was a kid, and I brought that into school to help me focus a little bit. I didn't know it at the time that Butch Hartman killed the monks. Yeah, what the fuck, Butch, you dickhead. Always causing trouble in this town. I didn't know at the time that it helped me, but looking back at it, yeah, I guess, like, Silly Putty, I always, like, had it on me to play with. And, I guess that really did help my ADHD a lot when I was a child. So, cool. Kind of cool thing to unlock as a memory as an adult, you know? All right. We're getting it. We're getting it done. It's looking nice. Very pretty today. There we go. 1% to do the brazier and the pedestal. All right, this is going to take a goddamn long time. How big is this place? Holy shit. Wow, okay. Mine is an egg? Okay, mine... oh, maybe mine was an egg. No, I think mine, maybe it was. I don't remember. Maybe it was an egg. Maybe I'm crazy and I just thought of it as a peanut because I wanted to be quirky and different. I'm so quirky, I'm so different, guys. Just sort of built different, you know? What can I say? I think you're right. I think it was an egg. I'd always doodle while listening to teachers, and I remember my math teacher one year taking points off my math notebook because I doodled even though I was in the top of the class and clearly paid attention. Broken Nerdy, literally the same thing happened to me. I was top of my class from math. I was very, very good at math. But because I didn't have a clean notebook, because mine was covered in doodles everywhere, I got in trouble and I lost some points on my math notebook. And I thought that was bullshit because I did math really well. And also, on top of that, it made it so my mom had to buy me another composition notebook that was strictly my doodle notebook. It was a bummer. They did used to be in Peanuts? Okay, am I crazy or am I not crazy, chat? I know I'm unhinged. I know I'm oftentimes a fucking lunatic on this channel, but, like, I need to know, am I gaslighting myself about Silly Putty being in a peanut at some point? Am I gaslight, gatekeeping, girl bossing myself? I need to know. This is important, chat. Someone be an internet sleuth. Someone be the Google sleuth that we need. I need to know this. Detonated, what's up? Nice to see you here. Thank you so much for the nice words coming in here. My parents went to the school and was like, what the fuck over that? She did some other weird stuff and ultimately went on leave during the next year. All right, so she was probably dealing with a hard time. Some sort of issues. I hope that she got help. Or some peace of mind or something that made her less that. My teacher did not go on leave. I just... My mom, because we didn't know that much about ADHD at the time, I guess. I don't know what the deal was. My mom was like, well, the teacher said so can you try not the doodle in this notebook? And can you use this one instead? And like I said, she got me a separate composition notebook to doodle in. So that was a nice compromise for the most part. But we, like, really didn't know nearly as much about ADHD as we did back then. So, yeah. I had a teacher one year who rated my doodles on the sides of homework assignments. He was awesome. I miss him. See, that's the way that teachers should do it. That's actually so cute. I love that. That's why I just drew on the desk. I felt too bad about drawing on the desk. I was that kid who was like, I don't want to destroy this property. I don't want to do that. I feel bad because then the janitor has to clean it. And, like, I felt really bad. So I never drew on desks. I never, ever, ever drew on desks. I was a perfect angel. I wasn't at all, but, like, you know, I didn't like doing that. I didn't want to, like, inconvenience the dude who was already, like, cleaning out the toilets at school. I would have felt way too bad about that. I used to doodle too and got put in the hallway a lot for it. Literally no one but the teacher cared. And it got in the way of my learning. Yeah, that was a big thing I dealt with was I had really intense ADHD. And so what ended up happening was I would get distracted. And I would doodle. and I wouldn't be taking notes. So here's the thing about ADHD brain for a lot of people, and obviously all neurodivergency is along a spectrum, so it's going to vary from person to person. Some people don't even have these as symptoms. For me, I have like very mental ADHD where it's mainly up in my brain, and I'm the stereotypical person who tries to finish people's sentences without noticing, accidentally jumps into conversations when someone's not done talking, and also am like 5 steps ahead in the conversation. I am already thinking of a thing that I'm going to say 3 lines of dialogue from now in my brain while I am out loud saying what is presently the conversation. That is how my ADHD manifests. So it's always made me very fast about like picking up information and like putting it in my brain. So one of the things that I would do when I was a kid was the teacher would write down the notes on the board. I would copy the notes super fucking fast, read them over really fast in my head while the teacher was trying to explain them, because that's the way I learned, was I had to read it silently in my head. And the teacher would be like explaining to the rest of the class, because some people learn verbally. And what would end up happening was I would be so far ahead, like in the notes or whatever, I would doodle, or I'd look out the window and get distracted by stuff. And the teacher just thought I wasn't fucking paying attention. So they would dock me points on my grade. They would be like upset that I wasn't paying attention to them talking. So that happened a lot, especially like from 2nd grade when I got diagnosed with ADHD through like 5th grade. That was like constantly a struggle of mine until we started learning a little bit more about ADHD in like the late 90s, like mid to late 90s, and like we still didn't know very much back then, but it was a lot more than what we did know in the beginning. So like learning, like adjusting my medication, adjusting like my stimuli and things like that. That was all taken care of a lot better by that point. So I was a great student, like A's across the board. It's just I had a different way of learning, so I got punished for that. And I know public schools especially, there's a lot of burnout on teaching staff. Like as an adult, I try to see it from the perspective of a teacher sometimes as well, where I'm like, all right, like you have a classroom of like 30 kids. It's going to be hard to like individually accommodate every single one of them. But also, I do hope that there's a lot more understanding when those individual issues arrive for these kids. I hope that school districts are going, all right, we didn't know that this kid had ADHD, or like, oh, we don't know why this kid gets distracted all the time. Maybe they're on the spectrum or whatever, and they're like a lot more understanding about it. I'd hope that's the case, but who knows? It's public schooling, especially, always sort of lags behind with those types of changes because the student body moves through so quickly, and there just are so many kids constantly being cycled through. So, yeah. The only thing that fucked my grades was homework because I couldn't concentrate at home. That's a bummer. See, I did really well with homework. It's just I didn't want to do it. I thought it was boring. It wasn't until I started being put into the challenging advanced classes that I felt the spark to sort of learn. Regular school was just really boring. I always did well on the homework, but it took a fucking lot of like poking and prodding by my parents to get me to even look at my homework. They'd have to give me like incentives. They'd be like, you don't get to log on to AIM. You don't get to log on to AOL for your 15 minutes of internet time if you don't do your homework. And I'd be like, oh no, I only have like 2 hours before dinner. And then like I'd like do my homework and then get to play on the computer afterwards, like on I think like Nickelodeon games or whatever I was into at the time. So that was how my parents incentivized me to do homework. But I never, like, by my own volition, was like, yeah, I'll get this out of the way now so that I can do more fun stuff later and have more free time. Yeah, I needed so much motivation to do that. But as far as like being distracted at home, I normally could find a pretty quiet place to do it, fortunately for me. We had a lot of busy work even in the AP classes, so I loathed doing them. My AP environmental science teacher would let us do creative projects. I was so on board. That's really cool. That's awesome. For the most part, my AP teachers were like really good about giving us like optional work that we could do that would like help boost our grade more, or basically take the lead on how we were gonna like do like a class presentation or whatever. By the time I was senior year in high school, every single course I was in was AP pretty much. So I was doing honors and AP stuff. And I was having a pretty good time, honestly. I actually really enjoyed the stuff that I learned in AP and honors classes. But I can see why some people would not. I absolutely can understand why some people would not. So, you're doing some parkour. Yeah, I always do parkour in this game. It's awesome. We got moon gravity, first of all. And then you can sprint and jump and run and do so much cool shit in this game. I love it. It's so satisfying. It's so fun. Ah! Until I fall and I break my ankles. That was a real weird scream. That was genuinely like top 3 weirdest, like fakest sounding screams I've ever done. I promise you that was not fake. That was one of the weirdest fucking screams I have ever done in my lifetime. sounded like I was like fake. Like I was doing like a bad voice acting scream. So bad. Up 3, take care. Thank you so much for dropping by. Really appreciate you hanging out. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We do appreciate you joining into the late night gang extravaganza. At this point, we're in a late night gang territory, everybody. I think AP Senior English had us make a whole chart of all the characters in Dr. Zhivago. And we all said, fuck that, and collab the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, also the other aspect of that is senior burnout, like doing the, what do they call that? Senioritis. Senioritis is like such a big thing. I definitely had that. My grades, I was 7th in my class at the beginning of my senior year in grades. I met with a guidance counselor to talk about like college and shit, and he was like, Brian, dude, I'm impressed. Like, your grades are so good, you can probably get into any of the colleges you applied to. It would take like a lot to knock your grades down at all. And I was like, fucking bet, dude. And I had the most intense senioritis. I regularly, me and my best friend, me and Dan, been friends for like a billion years. Dan and I, we would skip class so fucking often that we pretty regularly just had like detention. We would go, especially for our physics class, we'd leave school and go and buy a pizza. Or we just like would not do homework or whatever. Like that was just, there was a lot of class skipping that happened my senior year because we just had stopped caring. Because we both had such high grades. We were like, we're still gonna be on an honor roll even if we like literally flunk a class. So that was my senior year. Definitely big case of senioritis. God's junior year was the worst for me. I literally had the most terrible grades I ever had, and my GPA dropped to a 2.4. I'm sorry that happened to you, but here's the thing. You made it through it, and you never have to fucking do that again. I set myself up for senior year, so I had 3 periods of art classes, and it was awesome. That's great. That is really, really wonderful. That sounds like a lot more fun than, like, classical learning, you know? Sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, that was something that was cool, was my elective that I got to choose my senior year was, once again, Dan and I, we were like, yo, they got AP Gym, where you do shit like scuba diving and archery. Let's fucking do that. And it's co-ed. And, like, we were, you know, we were teen boys, so we were like, that sounds neat. We get to, like, play kickball with the girls. Hee hee. So that was, like, a big incentive. So we took AP Gym, which was, like, really funny. I feel like junior year sucks for most people. Well, so there's all this, like, really unfair weight put on junior year because that's, like, the this is the year that matters the most, more than senior year, because this is when schools will be like mostly looking at your grades and like scouting you for scholarships. And this is the year before your senior year, where during your senior year is when you get the acceptance letters. So junior year, you need the good grades like at the end, by the end of it, so you can apply for schools, so you can get ahead of that stuff. And it's like, I feel like that's so much fucking pressure, because I remember being so stressed out as a junior in high school and being like, fuck, my whole future is determined by this year of high school. Not knowing that, like, once I became an adult, I was like, fuck, none of that fucking mattered. Like, so little of that fucking mattered at all. Like, so little of that fucking mattered. It wasn't important, and as an adult, it's not important. No job I applied to was like, so, I see here that junior year you only had a 3.6 in chemistry, instead of a 4.0. What was that about? No one gave a shit. They just wanted to make sure that I had a degree. That's all. Instead, mine was running and shitting dodgeball knockoff games. Wait, what? You guys were just playing dodgeball? That's pretty awesome. That's epic. We played a little bit of dodgeball my senior year. That was fun. It was an epic gamer moment. But yeah, I feel like juniors get way too much fucking pressure put on them, because I went through the same thing when I was young. It was a bummer. And now, like, who the fuck cares? I play video games for a living. Like, I make internet content. I regularly dress up as a woman on stream. Who the fuck cares how I did junior year of high school? So, yeah. Oh, shitty dodgeball. Why did I say shitting dodgeball? Yeah, we just shit out dodgeballs. It was crazy. Why did I say that? Shitty dodgeball. Okay. I thought you meant like you were being like a shitter. Like, yeah, we played dodgeball, but I threw. Whatever. I didn't care. I didn't care about dodgeball, so I just like made sure we lost intentionally to troll a little bit. We do a little bit of trolling. I thought that's what you meant. Also, like, in the area I went to school, grades didn't really matter for college as much as we thought they did. I think that's, like, that's the most. Like, that's the most of, that. I told you guys I was eventually going to hit, like, a wall because I did so much today and my brain was just going to stop working. I think we're getting there. But I think that's a pretty common experience where you get out of high school and you're like, oh shit, like, no, this really did not matter nearly fucking as much as anyone thought it did, like grade-wise or otherwise. You see that? I grabbed this while I was jumping. I'm a goddamn madman. I'm built different. That was crazy. Can we stop getting 10 years of U.S. history and get actual social studies? I mean, you just said that with your whole chest. You meant it, and you should say it. You absolutely should say that. I'm a 1,000,000% in agreement with you, Tito. It would be nice to not just have, U.S.-centric history taught, and also not just the same, like, fucking, like, 4 major events that happened in American history or in world history. It would be very nice, for sure. Admittedly, I got such a bad grade in A-Push because I refused to write the 20-page final paper, but I got a 3 on the AP exam and ended up getting college credit. Hell yeah, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Those AP classes, they didn't give a shit what your grade was as long as you did well on the AP test. That's all that mattered, because that's why our parents said, yeah, that's something that's, like, worth pursuing. That's less money on college tuition. That's like way less money on college tuition. You should do that thing. You should take this in high school and then get the college credit. That was a good benefit of AP for sure. So, My mom is a teacher, so if I wasn't perfect, that would mean that my future was ruined, so that was fun. Sorry to hear that you dealt with that. I feel like that's a lot of parents that are in any profession is, you know, they're the expert on that thing. So they would like to see their kids be able to embrace that and be experts in it as well. And that's just really not the reality. I mean, obviously, a lot of us grew up and went, I don't want to be like my parents at all, or I just don't want to do the job my parents did. It doesn't appeal to me in any kind of way. I saw the struggles they went through growing up and things like that. I think that's a really common experience. That said, just in general, ever holding your kid to impossible standards is stupid when it comes to grades. I mean, I got a little bit of that growing up as well. I've talked about where it was like, oh, you got an A- on this. Why wasn't it an A+? And I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm 10? What the fuck? Look, I went to an IB school and I took all the IP tests and got high grades. Exactly 0 of them counted for college credit. None of them. High school feels like it matters so much, but it really doesn't. And yeah, we talked about that a million times here on this channel, but I want to reiterate, a huge reason that high school feels as heavy and as important as it does when you're in it is because you are a zygote. You are a child. You have not had, I'm not saying you're incapable. I'm not saying you're not emotionally mature or any of those things. I'm not insulting you in any way, but the scope of your life has mainly been high school. It has been school. You have been a school kid for a majority of your life. Seeing past that, seeing outside of that is very, very hard. You haven't had the life experience or the freedom to experience life the way you want to quite yet. So, you know, that is why it feels like the weight of the world. And honestly, don't feel bad if it does, because again, that scope is not really within your control. That said, I hope that a bunch of adults being like, yo, high school sucked ass. I'm so glad it was over, or it's over, and it only took 4 years of my life, and I've since made up for that. I hope a bunch of adults telling you that kind of stuff is more supportive than anything. So just keep that stuff in mind. And again, if you are in school right now, keep in mind that we do have a chat rule not to share your age if you're under 18 here. Please, please, please. So, yeah. I was surprised to find there actually are high schools dedicated to certain subjects like coding and acting. Yeah, trade schools and stuff. Schools for the gifted, music schools, whatever, like stuff like that. That is very common. We have here where I live, for those of you who don't know, I live in Rochester, New York. There's specialty schools for kids who want to get into the arts. If they want to become actors or performers, instrumental singers, whatever, that stuff is an option for them here from high school age, which is really fucking cool. Want to go to college, but school is just so not for me. So worried I'll end up like in debt or something because I just can't learn the same way other people do. I mean, it's one of those things where you get to make that decision for you. If anyone's pressuring you into that, that's not their decision to make. You know you best at the end of the day, and especially when you're an adult, you are allowed to make that decision for you. You're allowed to gauge the pros and the cons and decide what's going to work out best for you. If you are someone who's like, shit, I don't have the right type of brain for that. I'm not going to learn the way that college wants me to learn. It's just going to be a big waste of money. Don't go. That's fine. No shame in that. We have so many people, so many of my friends who are like super successful didn't go to college. Like that's not a necessary part of like living. If you go, awesome, more power to you. If you don't, and you're making it work the best you can, awesome, more power to you. There's no wrong or right way to go through life like that because there's no like one-size-fits-all solution for everyone out there. We're all doing the best we can with the information we have, the experiences we have, etc. But there's not like a manual out there that tells you how to do shit or how you should be doing things. You might get to the finish line with like a way fucking cooler bunch of stories to tell than me. You know? So, you know, keep that in mind. Everyone's an individual, and we go through life independently as individuals. Do things that feel right for you. Obviously within reason. But do things that feel right for you. So, yeah. I got the double whammy of gifted kid and parents who didn't finish undergrad for life reasons, desperately wanted me to excel. That's so sad when they had a lot of expectations riding on you from the sounds of it. And I'm an only child. Oh my gosh, yeah, so you didn't have any escape from it. Still feeling like I have to live up to it at 33. As someone who's in therapy for a lot of sort of like, I don't deserve things syndrome. I should be better at what I do because I was so gifted growing up. I was so well-rounded. Oh my God. Everyone told me how skilled I was. I can relate heavily. But I hope that you start doing like a lot of self-talk or, you know, even explore therapy if that's right for you. Obviously not trying to pressure you into it or anything like that. But I hope that you're able to start learning your self-worth. That you don't have anyone to please really except yourself. At the end of the day, you're the one who goes to bed inside here. You're the one who figures out what makes you happy the most. And you're deserving of feeling that happiness. I hope that you're able to discover that. I hope you're able to figure that out for you because with my therapy, that's what we're focusing on right now. And God, it makes a fucking world of difference. It makes such a world of difference to not constantly feel like I'm just failing and letting everyone around me down. It's a really good feel. Yo, Milo, what's up, dude? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for dropping by. Appreciate you a ton. If you guys don't know Milo, Milo rules. Does some really good stuff here on the internet. Check out his streams. He's a cool dude. He has an incredibly funny sense of humor. Like, genuinely a very funny person. Please check out Milo. Being attacked with niceness, what the fuck? Dude, you know what happens in this territory? When you step foot in my domain, this is the shit that happens, okay? You know that's how it goes. So, guys, seriously, click Milo's name there in the chat. Hit the follow button. Check out Milo's streams. Have a blast. Like, legit have a good time. You will. I promise you, you will. Oh, my God. I thought I was falling again. I was going to make another one of those weird, like, fake people screams. Ah! Nice. All right. Chat, I think what we're going to do here... Oh, my God. There we go. We broke my ankles again. This group of monks that we're watching for is going to need to hire a really good lawyer. So I'm going to sue the shit out of their temple. I think we're going to try to get to, like, 25% on this one. And then we're going to probably end. So, getting close to winding down. Not quite 100% of the way there quite yet. But we will... Just to give you guys a heads up of where the night's going. We're going to be only vibing a little bit longer. But I hope this has been good vibes. I hope people have been having fun. Holy crap. You've been going a while? Yeah. We've been chilling. Started the stream a little bit earlier than I normally do. Such a problem for me. Everyone said that I was so naturally smart that when I didn't understand the subject, I would freak out thinking I was going insane. It's a terrible mindset to be in, but it's not reality. That's a big reminder I want to share with my fellow gifted kids. It's not reality. It wasn't that we were gifted. It was that we had a certain type of brain that learned a certain type of way. And unfortunately, other people projected their expectations onto us. But that should not be our expectations. It's very unhealthy if that is still your expectations. And you got to remind yourself of that. You got to remind yourself it's okay to mess up. It's okay to not know things. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay especially to ask for help. And it is okay to get that help from professionals if you need it. It is all right, guys. I promise you. I'm doing it right now. I haven't fucking burst into flame yet. If anything, I feel awesome. And I'm becoming so much more confident in myself. And shit, dude, I'm having so much fun doing my job, making the content that I make, being myself on camera for you guys and on the internet. It's fucking kicked ass. It's been great. So, again, I know it's tough. It's literally taking me a ton of counseling, a ton of therapy to get to where I'm at. but it is possible. It's possible to not feel that way about yourself forever. So, yeah. People happy. Yeah. Therapy supremacy, my man. Yeah, I love... Honestly, I love therapy. I really like my therapist a lot. She is really funny. Her partner is a full-time fitness YouTuber, apparently. So when I walked into the first meeting and she's like, tell me a little bit about your job. And I was like, I'm a Twitch streamer. She was like, I know what that is. And I was like, no, you don't. You've heard of it. And she was like, I know what that is because my partner is a full-time content creator that makes fitness videos on YouTube. And I was like, what the fuck? How did I find someone who knows this shit? How did I find some? And she's older too. She's not like young. So I was like, this is fucking perfect. This was the universe telling me it was meant to be, dude. And I've had an excellent time in therapy so far. It has been wonderful. And I just feel so much more confident. I feel like a lot better about myself. I have my bad days like what I was describing where I'm like, fuck, everybody hates me. My friends probably have me on muted on social media. My streams suck. My viewers are dropping in numbers because everyone fucking wants to avoid me. It's not because it's back to school season. It's because everyone wants to avoid me. I do that. I go through that cycle. But unlike how it was before, I actually break out of it. I snap free of it. I go, whoa, this is toxic, stupid thinking. And even if it was true, it doesn't help me at all. Why am I hyperfixating on this shit? In a desperate act, the head monks sent them all out on a pilgrimage of faith. Oh, like an anti-poop pilgrimage animal? Because you said this temple is covered in shit. You literally said it was manure. Now, I have no mind where they were headed, only that they took with them a vast multitude of eggs. Oh my god. They're the ones who egged the mayor's house. That's awesome. Let's go lore building in this game. That is excellent. I love that. Dude, it's so bizarre now that YouTube and Twitch are more mainstream. I still answer with, I edit videos. Yeah, fuck, I had an IRS agent call me, like 2 years ago. Because I was obviously on my taxes. I'm like, I'm an online content creator. And like, I had an IRS agent call to make sure that I wasn't making fraudulent purchases because they were like, so it says here that you bought like, you know, like this many dollars of Pokemon cards, or you bought a dress and labeled it as cosplay materials. What is it that you do? And I had to explain my job to this woman. And I thought she was going to be like, I don't know what any of that means. What the fuck? How is that a real job type thing? But instead she was like, okay. I'll mark you down as that. And that these are valid purchases. Because they were like about to audit me. And I was like, no, I'm not making fraudulent purchases. Like I actually need like Pokemon cards and like clothes and materials and video games and shit. Like, I literally play video games for a living. I'm sorry that it looks like I am a 15-year-old who stole their mom's credit card. I'm so sorry. But it's actually all for my job. So I had to explain that to the IRS, which was really fun. Imagine explaining that you dress like a woman because your viewers ask you to. I mean, I didn't get into that much depth. But I have a feeling just because of how chill this IRS agent was, that she would have just been like, whatever. Man, please, I need this. Yeah, please, I need the validation of my online fans. I need them to praise me for playing video games good. Please, don't take this from me. Brian's job sustains my Pokemon card addiction. I'm so glad that it can. I'm so glad that it can. All right, 21%. Oh, we're getting there, chat. We're getting there. We're doing good. What if they arrest me for crimes I didn't know I was committing? Unfortunately, under U.S. law, ignorance is not a viable excuse for breaking the law. You probably can't even find a lawyer who'd be willing to, like, argue that. They might reduce the sentence, or the punishment or consequence, depending on what laws were broken, by you being like a first timer with like a good type of track record. Like if it was like a first time offense, you don't have a record, and it was like not super egregious, you know, they'd give you a pass. But part of the responsibility, unfortunately, again, why don't they teach this shit in school, is you got to do some self-research. You got to use your brain and actually go, oh, google.com is free. I can literally look up, I can type out what are taxes I don't know, and you will have a like article that is like the most spelled out simplistic article. You'll have 100,000 search results that will answer your question. So unfortunately, that is, you know, part of being an adult, is educating yourself, learning, oh, I am allowed to claim this on my taxes. I'm not allowed to do this. I need to get them in by this deadline, et cetera, et cetera. Nerdy, thank you so much, by the way, for the 23 months. Really appreciate you popping in. Hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you very much for the continued support. I cannot believe that you're almost at 2 years being a sub here. Get some good rest, though. Thank you so much for chilling with us. We really do appreciate you a lot. Good luck with work. Bro, I feel that way about taxes because I'm still so uninformed about how it works, so I'm always like, oh my god, I'm going to break the law without knowing. The nice thing about it is there are enough safeguards in place. Like, again, they thought I was like fraudulently claiming shit on my taxes. They did not just straight up audit me. They did not call me and go, we're going to like repo this stuff because we think that you claimed these fraudulently. The safeguard was, and oftentimes is they will send you mail, in the physical mail, by the way. It's never an email. Do not trust emails that say they're from the IRS. You will get duped. But they will either send you mail, or they will give you a phone call, or they will do both. And in mine, what it was I got a letter in the mail that said, hey, there's some discrepancies on your taxes we want to clear up. Please call this number. I called them. They said, hey, okay, cool, everything's fine. And they have not bothered me since. So it's really that easy. So yeah, maybe that's an anxiety of yours, but also keep in mind that like the system is in place to protect you as well. So yeah. So do not like get to the point where you're like, oh my god, I'm having panic attacks over the IRS like auditing me, because they don't just audit for no reason. They will, now if you get an email, or if you get a phone call, or if you get a letter mailed to you that's like, hey, you owe this much in back taxes, pay it by this date, or we will arrest you, and you go, no, I'm not going to do that, then you're willfully being a dickhead. And that's on you for tax evasion. That's your fault. Or you're like, oh, I just don't feel up to doing taxes this year. I'm just not going to do them. That's your fault. So, no, Smile, I think I won't. Lots of warning, typically. Yeah, Morgan just did that, too, for her business. She had a IRS agent, like special agent for like the tax bureau, send her a letter, call her, and clear up like a miscommunication that was in the IRS's system. But they were like a special agent that was like apparently really nice to her. Like she called and they were like, hey, there's these discrepancies in your tax records. And Morgan was like, no, those should have been cleared up years ago. What are you fucking talking about? And they were like, oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. I see that now. Just go to this website and do this, and you're set. And Morgan did it, and will now no longer be bothered by them. So, again, do your due diligence to educate yourself, but don't pee your pants over the thought of Uncle Sam knocking down your door to take your car from you or something. Like, that doesn't happen except for the people who, like, try to get around the tax laws or just say no and don't do the things they're told to do. So, yeah. That's for sales tax, though, not income tax. Yeah, but still same vein of, like, the government, as shitty as it is, and as much as, like, the IRS needs to be fucking reformed in a billion different ways. Like, at least they gave fair warning to you. So there is still safeguards in place. Too late, Pete 'em. Oh, God. Even those people get lots of notice. Yeah, right. They literally just keep sending you, like sometimes years worth of warnings. They'll be like, hey, please do this, or we can't guarantee, like, what sort of consequences you'll face. Please, please, please pay these back. Sometimes you are given months. Sometimes you're given years. Sometimes... Oh, my God, what the fuck just happened? I just slid off the side. Sometimes you just, you know, you are in hard times and you just did not have the money to do something fully. There are safeguards in place to help you a lot of the time. I promise you it's not as scary as you think it is. It's just a lot of work, and it's a little bit confusing, and it's very annoying. That's taxes in a nutshell. It's a lot of work, it's a little bit confusing, and it's incredibly annoying. So keep that in mind. But I know, yeah, I have known people who have had, like, back taxes that they didn't pay for, like, a year, like, years sometimes, and they were allowed to. It wasn't that they were avoiding paying the taxes. They had special conditions going on, and the government was fine with them paying them back, you know, with, like, maybe a little bit of inflated interest in there or whatever. So I remember one year, Morgan and I were doing financially badly, and I had to file my taxes, like, do a tax extension is what it's called. And what would happen was every month, instead of paying my full amount right then and there, because I did not have it in my account at the time, I filed an extension, and what they did was I set up a payment plan with them. So the remainder of that, the next year, they just took out X amount of money that I set out. Actually, it was for like a year and a half. The next, like, year and a half, 2-ish years, they took out a monthly payment that was a lot smaller than paying my taxes all up front. And so I got these, like, tiny little payments taken out of my bank account every month instead to help me pay for my taxes, which was really good. Like, way better than what it could have been. So, yeah, there are some safeguards in place. The reason it's so confusing from my perspective is because there's such a weirdly low amount of info about doing taxes when earning from individual income stuff like YouTube. Yeah, self-employment has always been like a, well, do it yourself, good luck type of thing. The literature on it has gotten a lot better over the past few years, I have to say, just as someone who has been doing this as a full-time gig for like 4 years. Especially with the rise of the number of individual entrepreneurs, independent entrepreneurs these days. Self-employment is definitely going up in the U.S. especially. So there's a lot more literature than there was, let's say, when I first started going full-time with this. But it is confusing, but there's a lot of official, you know, like IRS, like .gov resources you can get into, and then also on top of it there's like a lot of like tax firms and stuff, accounting firms, whatever, that have free resources and education tools online now. Again, it takes applying yourself and Googling it, and it's annoying that this isn't just shit we learned when we were younger, but once you learn it, you know, it's not so bad. Like, you do have to apply yourself, though. Like, that is the thing you have to do as, like, a full-time... You're running your own business now. You can't just play pretend anymore. If you're a content creator full-time, you are running your own business. You are not allowed to get away with going, well, but it's hard. Because you will not be able to do it as your business anymore if you do that. You have to figure out certain things about it that, yes, are hard, that suck to do, that have a learning curve, but it's all part of the job because you are literally running a business. So that's the way to do it. Our website is super helpful. You can even look up notices on there. It's at the bottom. Cool. That's really neat. Oopsie, I don't know. I'm just a little business owner. I'm super fortunate that my parents own their own businesses, so I can get some insider info and talk to their CPA. Yeah, so my dad also helped teach me a lot when I first started, like, learning how to file my own taxes and stuff. That was one of the things that he was adamant that I learned. So same sort of parental benefit there when it comes to that kind of thing. But it is something I really wish that they, like, taught it in school, because they just don't. Oh shit, we're at 28%. Fuck. All right, I gotta end the stream. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. All right, so I went like 45 minutes longer than I wanted to. Why did you guys get me talking about boomer shit like taxes? What an interesting, fun topic. I'm sure everyone really enjoyed and didn't fall asleep during. I think we lost like fucking 15 viewers during that. Oh my fucking god. All right. Anyway, chat, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna end this stream here. I really do hope that people had fun. I hope that people vibed out. I hope you mellowed. I hope you got what you were looking for from the stream, whether that was a good laugh, whether that was just some company late here at night with a bunch of cool people, whether it was, you know, just the vibes of being a part of a community that, like, cares about you. Haha, take that, gnome. I wish he shattered. That would have been cool. Thank you for being here. Seriously, thanks for chilling. All of you are awesome. All of you are awesome. All of you are hopefully having fun in these streams. Actually, this is from me, and this is to show that my therapy's working. This is a little bit of a self-validation thing, so that I'm like, yeah, you know what? I am proud of my content, and I should be, because I have fun making it. If you had fun here tonight, if you feel comfortable revealing yourself, even if you're just lurking tonight, can we get a little bit of pride spam in the chat? I'd like to see some pride spam. If you had a fun time, regardless of what kind of fun it was, if it was just mellow fun where you got to relax before you, like, wound down for the night, whether it was you laughed at something really fucking hard that we were talking about, whether you got this nice warm feeling in your chest because we all vibed out and we're good company to each other, do a little bit of pride spam, just so that I know that I'm doing the right thing, that people are finding this enjoyable. Because, again, I'm super goddamn proud of what I do, but, you know, this community is not just me. It's all of you as well. I say it all the time. I'm literally one person amongst 21,000 people who decided to follow what I do. Your input matters to me a lot, so I hope that you're having fun during these. The warm feeling in my chest, is it stream or is it the White Claw? I hope we're a lot warmer than a White Claw, but as someone who also overheats when I drink, I understand the sentiment. Thank you, chat, for humoring me there. I don't like toot my own horn very often, but that felt good to see. Thank you. All of you are amazing. I really fucking appreciate all of you. Anyway, chat, I'm going to end this here. Really do hope that you had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you so much for all the... wait, I'm doing this on the wrong screen. Why didn't I exit the game? I'm in such a hurry to leave. God, what's wrong with me? Bad host, you know? Bad host to all my guests here. There we go. Let's get me full size so you can really go, wow, look at this person here. God, you hate us. I do. Hey guys, I pulled this in Yu-Gi-Oh! By the way, the other day. That was a really good pull. All right, ADHD brain, shut the fuck up. I'm clearly hitting the wall. Need to go eat. I need to go chill. Thank you, seriously, so much for hanging out here tonight. Thank you so much for all of the bits, the subs, the follows, the donations, the gifted subs, everything that allows the stream to keep it going as a full-time thing. All of you are amazing. It's such an unbelievable amount. This, again, I haven't been, like, aggressively pushing September or anything, but the amount of support that's come through on the channel, like, this month alone in the first third of the month has been... I don't really have words for it. It has been a massive, overwhelmingly kind amount, and I just thank you all so much for that. Really appreciate everyone who stuck around to talk to me. Thank you so much to everyone who just vibed and watched the stream. And even if you were silent the whole time, you shared your time with us. That's really cool. You could have been anywhere else on the internet tonight and you chose here. So thank you very, very much. But I hope that you all had an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it may be for you. Love you all so very much. I really, really do. Finger hearts as usual. Hope to see all of you in the next one. And we'll hopefully finish, again, I keep being like, I think this is the last Power Wash Sim stream. And then it keeps giving us new maps, so that's good. We're powering through Power Wash. We're going to get there. But take care, everybody. See you in the next one. Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Oh, real quick. Tomorrow will be a sponsored stream, by the way. So if people can show up in force, you don't have to buy the game that I'm promoting. But it's going to be another one of those, if you click the link, it's going to show engagement on the link for this game company. And the dev will be more likely to work with me again in the future and things like that. It will show that people are at least interested in the game. It's another roguelike game, roguelite game that has fast, crazy, fun combat and like a punishing gameplay mechanic loop. But I'm really excited to try it out. It's one that was already on my wish list, and they approached me and were like, yo, do you want to get paid to play it? And I was like, yeah. So I will call my whole family. I got Speedy Link Clicking Finger. Thank you, Jenna. Yeah, sponsor stream tomorrow. It's a game called Fallen Angel. I know very little about it because I want to go in with not very many expectations, so I'm not biased going in, but it was one that had already piqued my interest in the past where I was like, whoa, that looks like right up my alley. That looks like my kind of gameplay. It looks fun. So we'll be playing Fallen Angel as a sponsor stream tomorrow. Anyway, chat! Again, thank you. Take care. See you all on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.